Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Why does it sound like this?
Welcome back, Weenie.
Do y'all hear that static? Jesus, I don't know what that's about. I need to figure out what's going on with that. What up, y'all? Do y'all hear that static or is it just me?
Welcome back, Weenie.
Do y'all hear that? Not cool. Not cool at all. I think, you know what I think happened? I think I'm really, when I did my profile shit, y'all hear it? Shit. I think I know what happened. No, I didn't hear about that, bro. I think I know what happened. When I had hit something earlier on my settings, and I think I messed up my settings. I think that's what happened. I had hit something on accident earlier when I was mixing with my stuff. But I mean, I know you don't hear it. Like, I know you probably don't hear it when I'm talking, but my soundboard. Again! Jesus Christ. Why is everything staticky on my soundboard, bro? Mortal Kombat! What? What the fuck? God damn, bro. You said you don't hear nothing. You don't hear that staticky noise? Hold on, I'm finna turn my mixer off. Y'all not hearing it? Okay, I'm gonna turn it off and turn it back on. It might just be me. I can't deal with that. Hold on. Mic check. Mic check.
Welcome back, Weenie.
Low IQ.
What? Mortal Kombat! Okay, it went away. Okay, it went away. It went away. It was this like nasty static when I was hitting the sounds on my soundboard. But what up, y'all? Happy Friday. Who we got in here? TJ was first, but he probably gone now. Young Nero, Derek, Dex, Zane. Who else we got in here? James, Albert. Who else we got in here? Mark. What up, y'all? How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling? Man, look, I'm so mad. It's like so many things going on YouTube right now, and then I'm streaming too. But I was mad because I'm like, you got Erudite and Andrew Wilson debating on whatever. You got Destiny on the Whick panel, and then I had to stream. I was like, damn, bro, there's too much content going on right now. I think this Destiny and Whick debate panel is finna end soon. I was really enjoying it because these guys are so stupid, and it's embarrassing that they even got on this panel, and it's been fucking hilarious. I think it's gonna end soon. I want to look at it a little bit before we start, because this shit was
And if he wasn't
funny.
going to believe them unless they gave him the answer that he wanted.
It's about Trump and free speech.
Maybe it could be a confirmation bias thing. That could be nowhere.
And it was
But I'm asking,
somehow
wouldn't
a
you
greater
guys
threat
freak
to
the
free
fuck
speech
out?
than Trump?
No, I didn't say. No, I'm saying the concept of having the government regulating information
these
is what I
guys are
think
so
is a
stupid,
massive,
Dex,
much
it's
more of a threat to
ridiculous.
free speech.
Well, sure, but that's not what this was.
I know that's not what this was. I'm saying the concept behind it, and could that concept be brought
Then
forward?
why bring it up?
Because I'm
Okay,
saying
so-
the concept of that. Like you could get
Let me ask you, Steelborn. Okay, we've had reports, and assuming these reports are true, of the DHS subpoenaing people who are critical of ICE, and subpoenaing
Oh, the video's loud.
Facebook and X and Google and Gmail for their personal information to get their names, addresses,
can't barely hear me?
access to their emails and DMs and social media. Do you think that is a threat to people's free speech?
Yeah, but that's
Y'all
also
can't
why
hear
I'm
me?
that's why I'm against the Patriot Act, and I think that
It's
also
not
like,
as
that
to
should
the
be
Patriot
removed.
Act. Why did you back up to something more general when there's a specific action that Donald Trump took?
Hey, hold on. Did Donald Trump take this?
Yes, well,
That's what he's
Donald
referring
Trump's
to.
DHS is doing this now. Yes.
Okay. Can you demonstrate that the orders came from Trump?
It's so fucking good.
Okay,
Look,
that's
if you
the
can
case,
demonstrate the
then.
orders came from Trump, then I'll say he shouldn't have done that.
No, because they just kind of went. Okay, so like if the Republicans
Yeah, I
are in
should be
charge, then it's
louder.
Republicans.
I should be
DHS.
louder.
You just made that association. So
The
when
difference
Trump
is that
was impeached-
Republican.
one
Yes, the
sec,
reason why.
when
Oh,
Trump
sorry,
was
let him
impeached
filibuster. Go
the
ahead.
second time for a
About to
speech.
see how it sounds.
Yeah, so when
Yeah,
Trump was
go ahead.
impeached for a speech,
Yeah.
like was that a chilling effect for free speech?
Hopefully, a chilling
When a
effect on
president-
To be fair,
inciting
typically I
insurrections.
don't talk
Hopefully.
over video, so it might just be the norm that
But
you
it was-
can't hear me
it was
when
a
when a
speech.
video's playing. I typically don't talk over video,
So
so
is
you're
your
probably
mom.
just not
We
used
can
to
We're
it.
talking
acknowledge-
about
Sounds
like remember when
Hold
like
on,
the whole
we can
thing of
just
like we had the
acknowledge
sad
that
music,
yes,
the rain on the mute.
Yeah, I'll just grant
Yep.
you. Hold on. I'll just grant you that some of the censorship towards right wingers and towards Trump was chilling to free speech. My argument, and I think the argument that is being made,
I'm not
that-
granting
that
what he just granted. Just to be clear, I'm not doing that. But
that
go
is
ahead.
far less chilling than Trump's DHS, whom he appointed, staffed, and set policies for, is going after private citizens for being critical of the government and subpoenaing for their information to de-anonymize them, and in some cases sending the FBI to their door. Like one gentleman who wrote a judge
Rick
asking
usually
for
only goes for
clemency or
2 hours,
mercy
and I
for
know
an
he's
asylum
approaching
seeker.
2 hours
Um,
soon.
But
5
wait,
hours after he did that, federal agents came to his door to investigate him. That is far more chilling because it affects more people, and it is a matter of policy by the state rather than policy of a corporation.
But do you not see that it's far more chilling that there's a faceless entity that is both impeaching the president and like just causing more and more.
Who has more
of
power,
these
the
scenarios.
government of the United States or Facebook?
And impeachment is a thing
Whatever
that all
entity
of
can
Congress
control
has to like.
the
There's
government of the United
you need
States.
majorities in Congress to do these things, not just a single person.
Yep.
Talking about yep.
Okay, wait, hold on. Just
Is
earlier,
like what I've been trying to point to is the actual system, the system that like I said that like even if you make the claim against Trump that he's a retard, he can't even tie his own shoelaces, that he somehow managed to become president. That is it not a flawed system?
Why
When
do
we
you
said
why
that
do you
thing
keep
with the DHS,
misunderstanding this?
One sec, to bring it back.
Why do you keep
I'm not
misunderstanding
misunderstanding. I'll
this?
bring it back to the point. You were the one
Are
that
you
made
like
the claim it was
diagnosed
Trump's
retarded,
DHS, which
or is
means
this just like a thing
because
you- like
Trump's
a
in
play you
power,
put
that
on,
means
or?
it's Trump's responsibility of
Ah.
the DHS. So now you're going to then back out and say, no, it's not actually the system, it's just Donald Trump.
The difference
how
for,
can Donald Trump even
because
get into the top of the
when you're talking
system in
about
the
the
first
system or
place?
whatever, the difference is that Donald Trump himself uniquely, and by the way, this is one of the issues that everybody has with Donald Trump, is Donald Trump uniquely says that he can order every single person in every single department to do whatever he wants to do exactly. That's a unique thing with Donald Trump that other presidents haven't done historically. It's considered not good. So when Donald Trump tells his attorney general to prosecute somebody, that's the thing that presidents typically don't do. You're not supposed to do that as president. Donald Trump's decided to start doing that. So that's one of the reasons why we hold him more accountable for what his agencies
Yeah,
do.
James, it
than
was
maybe
cool
even
having
other
you in the
presidents
chat
have
today,
passed,
man.
because he's
'cause you
wanted
so
to take the
active
reins
in the
directly
chat,
on
so
all
you
of them.
actually
And he
hopped
says as
in,
much
and I
publicly.
appreciated that.
Yeah, so instead of being one person, so you actually have a name, you have basically a faceless amalgamation of whoever was in the room when that thing was being signed. Was like that was basically the
Wait,
discussion
I
that's
thought
being
I
had. So
didn't
don't know
change
actually
you,
who's
Dex.
coming up
I
with the
didn't
ideas
change
or
your
who's,
person.
pushing the narrative or trying to direct the
Hold on, we
the
do
outcome.
You think
know
you
who
cooked
the
hard with
actor
that one? Do you think you were?
You said you wanted
Serving it
Deadpool.
up
do you
there?
think
You
they
know
But what I'm
merged
saying
all
is when
together
it
like
comes
an
down to
Akira
if
or
a
Somebody
group
never
makes a
told
decision,
me.
if a group makes a decision, how do you understand or how do you find out who's actually solely responsible? With Trump, you have an individual, so you're able to make the claims. Oh, Trump is the evil one, and then when we say it's actually the system. He's like,
Hold on, I
no,
got you.
because
I think
like
we
said,
should just.
people-
I think we should get rid of Congress. Just have one person make all
Yeah.
the decisions, so that we can always see who's doing it.
Or
That would
you
be
might have
base,
been
right?
on your other account, Dex. That's
No,
probably
what I'm
what
saying is your
happened.
critique fundamental
That's what I'm
boils down to
saying.
the
No,
fact
I'm
that it's
agreeing
like
with
it's
you.
Trump
Actually,
that's
you
the one that's
totally
making
changed my
decisions.
mind on all forms of representative democracies or having boards or whatever. You just have one person in charge of things, and then you
Yeah, your,
always
your,
have a
your
face to
fundamental
attach.
complaint is it's an individual telling
I'll make
someone
both
what to
your
do rather than a
accounts,
group of individuals telling someone what to do.
Deadpool.
Yeah, you're right. That's why we should have one person charging everybody with everything. Just one person doing it all.
Okay, so
So
just real
you're
quick.
not willing to
Hold on.
concede at
So,
all
just
that
wait,
that
let me
impeachment.
I just
Yeah,
conceded the
president
whole
speech.
argument.
Yeah,
I
put
just
the
said
chilling
that
effect
one
on
It is
guy
random. I'd
should
have to
make
wait.
all
Trump
the
is
choices,
losing
and
a
that would
lawsuit.
be
It's
the
one sentence
base
like
thing.
that.
Stays that
I just want to get this on the record.
Uh-huh.
You're saying that there is
What's
no
good,
way
Larry?
that that impeaching a president for speech is chilling on free speech, but then a president losing a lawsuit is chilling on free
Yeah,
speech.
this panel is live right now.
I'm gonna steal all your
I don't even
fucking
know
potatoes.
what the. I'm not actually
What?
even sure what the fuck you just said. I'm sorry.
Can you rephrase that?
Okay. Steelborn, do you want to translate? Do you understand it?
I'm gonna
Are
be totally
you
honest.
saying-
No.
You're
Yeah, no one
okay.
understands
So,
you, bro.
The accent.
okay.
It was the
Don't
accent
worry,
for
don't
me,
worry.
and
I
I was
got you. I
reading.
got you. Yeah, don't worry. I got you. All right. You're saying that Trump being impeached for speech, that's not chilling on free speech.
He wasn't
But
impeached for
Trump
free
losing
speech.
a lawsuit. Yeah, just listen to the whole thing. You wanted to, because apparently you understood that, but then I have to repeat it. So I'll do it again. You're saying that Trump getting impeached for speech, that was not chilling on free speech, but Trump losing a lawsuit is chilling on free speech. That's been your whole, like, that's the whole debate.
What did I say about chilling effects?
He not gonna repeat.
Did I
it.
say that all chilling effects are bad?
He not gonna
Is it
repeat
bad to chill illegal behavior?
Yep.
He not gonna
Okay.
repeat it.
Okay. Let me read
Wick,
some
were you,
different-
Wick, were you eating
These
some
guys
chill-
are
I don't understand
embarrassing.
this whole thing where, like, you base trail off and it's like you don't have an answer to the question. You're gonna say I don't
haven't
know,
answered
or
the
it's like,
question.
actually, that's a good point,
Impeachment
Teriak.
is a
That
political
a
process that
contradiction.
involves the Congress. There is huge oversight there. Okay, if somebody's been impeached, they probably did a really bad thing. So when you ask me, is there a chilling effect that's created around impeachment? I would say, yeah. I hope that
Nah,
future
it's been
presidents
going on-
don't want to do things that would get
This
them
debate been going on for an hour and a half, bro.
of governance. That's literally the
Yeah.
number one way we have of holding
So,
people accountable.
That
Yes.
was okay.
Hold on, Destiny. Do you
chill-
think that?
to
Hold on.
ch-
Do
to
you
chill
think that
free
every
speech.
time that Republicans do something, they do something? They're doing it because they're making sure to follow the Constitution, or do you think that like the Republicans can sometimes target like specific Democrat officials in order to like I don't know maybe try to impeach a Democrat president? They could hypothetically do that. They could try to impeach them for they might give like official reasons, but clearly it's like this is a fucking witch hunt.
Yeah.
They're just doing this because it's political. Okay, so why aren't Democrats just as capable of doing the exact same thing?
Oh my
Because
god.
they tend not to.
Oh, just because they tend not to, but they are still capable of doing that.
They could, yeah. And if they were doing it, then I would be criticizing them.
Okay, so then by that standard, then impeachment is not always a good chilling effect.
I'm gonna make a little money.
If you abuse, I mean, that's like saying, aren't cops bad because some cops can be bad? What the fuck kind
Oh
of?
no, that's not what I'm saying.
Steelborn,
That's
what he's
exactly
saying-
what you're saying.
What he's saying is it's okay to put a chilling effect on free speech when it's Trump, but when it's not Trump, it's not okay to put a chilling effect.
What's good,
on free
Reaper?
speech.
No, it's when you do the things
It's
that Trump
completely
has done.
contradictory.
The
It's when you
actions,
do
it's the
illegal
actions.
things.
This
then
should be
that
over shortly.
Illegal thing should probably be chilled.
I was
Yes.
enjoying this.
That's
this
why you have
panel.
criminal laws.
So like we should have closed the borders.
Yeah,
Because
so
that's
like,
illegal.
I don't know what the hell.
I'm sorry, y'all. I love watching train wrecks. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm
Pivot.
gonna read some
Okay,
different-
we got
Stillborn,
Steelborn.
That was
Steelborn.
a hard
One
pivot.
second.
I
heard the rubber squeaking from here.
Real quick,
Hold on,
just
hold on,
real
hold on,
quick,
hold on.
real quick.
I want to make.
Like,
I wanna
did
make a
you
little
say that
money.
overinflating poll numbers?
I'm gonna make a little
put a
money.
chilling effect on that.
You're not gonna interrupt my money.
Yeah, he barely opens his mouth when he talks, Dex.
Sarah, to ask the rightoids this: Can the rightoids
Destiny is in
answer
the
this
top left.
question? What is the issue with attempted murder or attempted rape? It didn't happen, so there's no issue. Correct?
No, I would say
Assault.
intent behind it.
Okay. So earlier, when you said
Exactly.
it was dismissed,
you
so there's no issue,
It's no
right?
issue, right?
That wouldn't be
Okay.
the same. That
Is
wouldn't
it
be like
not?
okay. So like if the question was should somebody be charged for attempted murder? Yeah, I would say you should be charged for it. But if you're charged for attempted murder and the case is dismissed, then you didn't. There's like nothing really happened to the person who was charged other than they were charged with it. But
No,
if the
no,
case
okay.
was dismissed, there was no real material effects.
Really?
So-
It's not an inconvenience to have a criminal
Destiny's the girl's
investigation.
name.
Oh,
so-
wait. So now criminal investigations are worse than civil investigations, Destiny?
Did I just say that because criminal investigations were bad, they're suddenly worse than civil things? I like how you were so excited to go there.
Hold on, no. You're just. I just
My
said that,
position
like, okay,
earlier was that criminal stuff isn't necessarily worse than civil stuff. There are examples where civil stuff can be worse
I didn't
than
ask about
criminal stuff.
necessarily. I said, is it worse? Like, would you at least
When
grant
you
it's
say
generally
is it worse and you don't add qualifiers, the implication is
fine, I'll add the
necessarily.
qualifier then. Is it
Necessarily.
worse generally?
Generally speaking, criminal stuff is probably worse than civil stuff. Yeah, generally speaking, I'd say so. More people are confronted with criminal stuff than civil stuff, for sure.
Okay.
Okay, $10 from Revitalago. Why is it so hard to
Yo.
admit that the president shouldn't call for executions of his political opponents, and that no recent president has ever done this?
I can just. I agree with that though. I don't like that he does that. I don't think he should do it.
Okay, and do you admit at least on that he is worse than past
Make
presidents?
Teriak answer that shit.
On that metric, he would have to be worse than
sure.
that. Worse than past presidents on that metric.
Sure. $5 from Hell's Advocate.
Bro,
Ask the
TJ, they've
cons
been
of
doing
the
this the
panel.
whole
Should women
debate,
be
bro.
held accountable for fake sexual assault accusations, even if it's proven they didn't sexual assault? It's that easy. So if someone
the
charges you
conservatives
with
said?
sexually assaulting, if a woman charges you,
False rape allegations. Should
Yes.
women be prosecuted for that?
Oh yeah,
Okay, so
that
if
now
make
you
a-
care
but if
about
you
false
make a
allegations.
False allegation about
Now you care, but it didn't happen,
fraud
right?
or
You're
about
okay, right? You
sedition,
got out of it.
what should happen to you?
Now you care.
I'm actually one of the only people I think on this panel. I'm not in favor of necessarily actually attacking women who make false accusations.
I thought you just okay.
Unless
Didn't you say that
I'm
the
gonna
women
let me
who
add
make
the
false
qualifier.
accusations should be prosecuted?
Right. What did you?
No,
just
I didn't
said-
say that.
Again,
What was he
Did I
saying?
mishear
then?
that?
Right.
It might
No,
have
I never said that. That was never even brought up in this argument once.
You just said that. Unless you were speaking on other
It
people.
was never brought up in this
you,
debate.
You understand the difference between
Didn't you
False rape allegations.
sexual assault? It's that easy.
That
So
was-
if
that-
someone
so the
charges you
conservatives
with
said-
sexually assaulting, if a woman charges you,
False rape allegations. Should
Yes.
women be prosecuted for that?
okay, so if you make a false allegation about fraud or about sedition,
Oh, he was
what should happen to you?
reframing the question.
Kid Iked for I already read that. $5 from Mr. Commit. Would Irish guy concede that the pollster lawsuit was anti-free speech if it had succeeded, or would he say it succeeded?
Shout out to the
proves it
23
was
in the
justified?
chat, man. Make sure y'all like
that's
the
what I'm
stream.
trying to justify in terms of their position. Like, this has been an internal critique on claims that Destiny's made all debate that he just ran from and just done like the whole, okay, you got all this kind of shit, and just avoid the question, and not actually refute with the logic. You know what I mean? Because like I said, what is the counter when we're talking about like Trump was the one that was impeached for speech, and then it's okay to have the chilling effects then. So what I'm saying is like, how do we value this or measure?
impeached.
Wait, hold on.
chilling
I've
effects?
already.
When is it
wait.
good, when is
Just
it
to be
bad?
clear, just so
What is
nobody's.
what is the scale we're going against?
filibuster.
And that's been the whole dodge the whole night, and then you just like, oh, I can't hear your accent.
You listen. If
Which
you
is
want, if you want
kinda
to do,
racist,
if you
not
want to
gonna lie.
do 2 minutes, okay, I'll go back and forth, okay, for 2 minutes. But you have to answer directly, and you've got to ask questions concisely, and you can't filibuster, okay? So, what is the thing you think I've dodged?
In terms of the scale that you're putting the good or bad chilling effect on speeches, when is it a good time? When is it a bad time?
It's good to chill speech that we don't want. It's bad to chill speech that we do want. So a classification of speech that we don't want would be criminal speech. A classification of speech that we do want would be speech that's, say, critical of the government or critical of the media or just critical speech in general.
And we would not we would not want as a society for polling companies to overinflate their numbers, correct?
Oh my God.
I believe so, yes. We wouldn't. We would not. I agree
Yes.
with you. We don't
So
want them to
perhaps
lie.
maybe-
Yes.
Yeah. So perhaps maybe a way to enforce that or to chill that people who were
But it
might be
wasn't
overinflating
proven.
their poll numbers would be to bring a lawsuit against one of them, especially the ones that had the most.
Not a civil.
difference in
No.
numbers.
Not a
For
civil
example, in
lawsuit.
this
Wait,
case
no,
where
no,
it was 16.
you know, not a civil lawsuit. That would be a criminal investigation.
Yes.
And to even start that criminal investigation, you need more proof other than the numbers were wrong.
But it would be one avenue one could take, correct?
What?
Because you said it was a good thing. Because ultimately, you said the chilling of the speech was the main thing.
He
Like,
do
that's the
sound
main
like
issue here.
a Irish
And the fact
fresh.
that you just agreed that like we don't want polling companies to overinflate their numbers. So this could actually be a way, although not 100% in terms of the execution. Maybe like I said in the specifics. But in terms of the general kind of like idea here, you actually are in favor of what Trump's doing here.
But the general and
But
the
you see the way you're going to dodge
no,
this?
no,
now?
I'm not dodging. I'm answering your fucking question. The specific example here matters. If Donald Trump would have come out and said, the DOJ has been notified that Ann Seltzer was cooking the books, that she was ignoring certain polling information because she wanted to get a more favorable outcome. So now we're investigating the Seltzer polling company or whatever. And maybe that would result in them seeking an indictment in a grand jury. I would be okay with that. But that's different than Donald Trump launching a civil suit personally and saying, I'm suing her because I think she made it all up because they're jealous of me, with no proof and not even stating any claims whatsoever. He didn't state any evidence that there was fraud or rigging.
He just didn't like it.
Same outcome though.
Same what? No, it's not the same outcome.
You fucking idiot. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
Polling
Because now
company
when
is
you're
gonna
looking
be
at the
a lot
president of the
less-
United States, now you're thinking the president might come after me just because I publish a poll that he doesn't like, rather than I'm being fraudulent in my polling.
And you're going to be make sure that the 100% you can back up exactly what you publish.
But she already could.
is
She
the
already
same
could. She
outcome.
did. No, it's not the same outcome
Oh my
because you
God.
might not publish a poll now because you're just worried that you might be sued by the president and you'll go out of business if he sues you.
Yeah, but as a utilitarian, it's like outcome is the outcome.
Oh my
That's all that matters. So
God.
it's like the outcome is
Stop.
No, as a utilitarian,
Probably gonna be
it's
more
the
accurate with the
repeated
numbers.
outcome over a large volume of events. That's why a utilitarian generally won't be in favor of a person walking into a hospital and being executed so their organs can be given to 5 other people because they would say that no person would ever go to a hospital anymore, so the overall effect would be bad on society. So a utilitarian would not be in favor of the president of the United States doing personal lawsuits against pollsters on the outcome that once or twice it might turn out okay because it would probably cause a massive chilling effect on most other legitimate pollsters.
Okay.
This
$5
dude-
Yeah,
get
but like
ice.
that's a good thing because it's going to be accurate numbers then.
Okay, I'm gonna
Oh
make a
my
little
God,
more.
this guy
$5
Dex,
to
I've
get
seen
ice.
him in a
The
panel
Irish
before.
fellow
He's
probably
so
thinks the troubles
stupid. He
refer
doesn't
to
even
him.
know anything
I'm
he talks about. He just
trying to
comes on
tie
and
his
just tries to
like
shit
that.
on people on the left and
$2
just
from
suck
Sifu
off Trump, and he
KFJ.
has no
Didn't
insight
Obama
whatsoever.
drop a bomb on an American citizen? $5 from Trivaka. To the two conservatives, is it okay Trump and his admin to internally use polygraph tests and purge staff in the FBI who were directed to investigate January 6th?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Is it okay that Trump and his administration internally polygraph tested FBI members and purged the ones who were directed to investigate?
Oh, I
January
didn't see that. That's the first time I'm hearing of it.
No, I'm not. That actually wasn't what I was going to say. So nice try, but. So, the one thing I wanted to ask, just in clarification, was because I remember reading this. I remember reading the story. I just don't remember all of the details. So what I wanted to ask was it? Did he only just basically purge people who were just involved with the J6 investigation, like at all, or was it
that were
was it
directed
people who
to
failed polygraph
investigate,
tests?
right? The ones that were directed to investigate and look into the January 6th insurrection. The allegation is that Trump had his admin use polygraph tests to find out who was involved in that, and then they fired those who were involved. Do you think that
If y'all
is
didn't peep,
a negative thing, a bad thing?
yes, y'all
Yeah, I
didn't
would
know.
say that's bad.
Destiny has that on his
I'd say neither
soundboard.
bad nor
But
good.
he's hit it like 7 times
if you have
tonight
people who were
where they don't
suspected of being
understand
treason
something he
or acting
said.
against
Oh, I
the
didn't hear
country,
that. He plays the ass.
Then like that is going to be one of the like methodologies where you extract truth.
Okay. $10 from G.
Wait, what did he say?
Extract truth against the. If you have people who were suspected of being treason or acting against the country, then like that is going to be one of the like methodologies where you extract truth.
But that I just don't think that it's a massive threat to free speech because Trump uses bombastic rhetoric constantly.
$5
No,
from
yes,
Ellis
Dex.
Brown.
He
He's
has
the
that on his
bombastic.
soundboard. Oh,
While
I didn't hear
we are
that.
waiting
That's my
for
first time
Expand
hearing
on
of
their
that.
tradition,
Like that's why it
awesome
came out of
album came
nowhere.
this week, Casino by BB Keem, $5 gang.
It's just
$5.
worse because they
$2
can
for
hear
Big
it. It's
Leafy
not
Tree.
just for
Get
us
Irish Deep
listening.
Proof.
The
He
people on the
graduated high
panel can hear it. I don't know how you do that on Discord, but they can
my
hear
mom
what he.
took Tylenol
He's not even
before she-
sharing his screen,
Okay,
but they
real
can hear
serious.
that.
Sure, real serious.
It
for
was extra
100
strength.
ARS.
Extra strength.
Question for the right wingers: if a tiger is in a cage and there's a drunk dude running around with the keys to the cage, should we keep an eye on the tiger or the drunk guy?
I mean, I would say both, but I think the drunk guy might be a little easier to regulate.
Somebody would say both.
Might be someone
What is
we
this
would,
question?
pay attention to a little bit more because
That's an
you
interesting
know, even though they're
question.
drunk, even though they're retarded, even though they're dumb, they have the potential to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, but you could also just stop him. Wouldn't that be the better scenario than just let's wait and monitor?
Okay, $5 from Fell
should
Runner.
stop
to
him,
say,
you're
like
right,
to see me
yes, I
fucking
agree.
workers. True. $5 from Scorn to say these guys are so stupid. I think what Destiny doing to them might actually be a hate crime. Doesn't know how to use chilling effect or buck stops. $5 from Let Icarus to say the buck stops here was popularized by Truman to signify that as president, the ultimate responsibility for decisions rested with him. Steele is dumb. $5 from Mr. Farr from Jordan says
The
dumbest
reason I
take on
wouldn't
the buck
say
stops
that,
here
Dex,
idiom.
is because he's
President
playing
is the king. Dumbest take on Vance.
Arc
VP
Raid is
on the
currently, and I
sidelines.
highly doubt they
$10
hearing the sound of the Arc Raid.
for
I wish we
owlishness
didn't hear it right
to
now, but
ask,
we can hear
when you
it.
ran out,
It's
or to say,
distracting, but
when you
I
ran
doubt
out
they
of
can
the
hear the
healthy
Arc Raiders in the
arms, you
background.
ran out
So I
of
don't
really
know.
healthy. They had great arms, but they ran out. It's called sports. It's called baseball in particular. The smartest president, Donald Trump. 100 ARS from Real Serious. Another question for the right wingers. Can a dumb person with a shotgun rob a bank, even if he's ultimately caught? Does he have to be a criminal mastermind, or is brute force enough?
Well, really no, there's no. Well, so the problem with this and why this is disanalogous is because the bank robber doesn't actually have a whole system of checks and balances,
Yeah,
like a
Johnny,
massive
he's
bureaucracy.
from Ireland.
He's just an idiot with a gun. Yeah, that's more dangerous. I would say the idiot with a gun is actually more dangerous than if the idiot with the gun has a friend group of fucking philosophers and they're like,
Yeah,
no,
he is
you
the
shouldn't
oldest
fucking
streamer.
do that, and we're gonna do something to stop it.
Where's the
Political
force?
streamer.
Stillborn. Do you know what I mean? Like, where's the shotgun in this analogy? Like, what's it like? Trump got elected. It was like literally by.
Oh my
like,
God, he doesn't even
non-forcing-
understand.
Yeah, it's like,
the
well, this
analogy.
would be more analogous if you're like,
What are they talking about?
half the country elected the idiot with the shotgun to go rob the bank.
Yeah, but they can't understand my accent. They can't understand.
hate
any of
when
this.
they run
This
to
Who
is
this
all-
said
he was
anything about
elected
not
shit.
understanding your accent? I'm just being racist because to be funny. I understand what you're saying, but what you're saying is stupid. We just had a 2-minute back
No,
and forth where I responded
I'm not
with
saying
substance
it
to
was a
everything,
bad
saying,
thing.
with every single thing you
never
said.
it
What
was-
do you think I
I
have?
never
What do
said it was
you
a bad thing.
what do you
You're
think
the
I
one that
said?
thought that when I
What do
said
you
it
think
was
I've
racist,
said?
it was a bad
What
thing.
do you
That's
think
weak.
I've said?
You never said it wasn't a
American.
good joke. or a
What
good
have
jab.
I not
Don't get me
understood?
wrong.
What have I
You know
not
what I mean? The
understood from you?
potatoes-
No,
well,
you
What
sound
have I
like
not
potatoes,
Thomas as
understood
well
from
for
you?
Des.
What have
Well,
I not
a bit
understood
more
from
of
you?
that.
What have I not
What about
understood
the
from
pot
you?
of gold?
What have I not understood from you?
My whole argument that you've been dodging.
Which I'm sorry. What do you think I dodged? I'll ask you
doing
again. I thought we just
dodging?
ran through this. What part of your argument do you think I've
Okay,
dodged?
no. It was my question. Notice the way you say, "How did I dodge?" and then you tried to ask a question. You're very good at this, Destiny. I do have to give
I
you
asked
props.
you
I do
what your
respect that, but you're
question
very
was.
Good at redirecting.
I asked you what your question
my
was.
question-
That's not me asking. That's
Okay,
me asking
so-
you to ask a
okay.
question. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanna
Okay, so-
finish these super chats because I wanna finish this panel.
Okay, think of your question.
$10 from
This
Robert.
dude-
to say
this
they
dude
need
is so
hours of political
stupid. Oh my
education to understand
God.
Destiny. It's like a first grader
Jesus
arguing with a
Christ.
teacher about math being wrong. $10 from Not Rusted Halo. Please ask the Irish guy why is talking about America when BBC legionnaires are pillaging his country.
Why talk about America? Because
He don't even know.
Like this is the American Empire. You're an idiot, but go ahead.
He's an idiot.
Okay. $5 from Bass Guitar to say, is Bondi saying the DOJ will go after hate speech and Trump saying criticizing him is hate speech good or bad for free speech?
I would say that it's bad. I would just grant that it's bad, but also I don't think Trump ever called any of what they were doing hate speech.
He literally did say criticizing him is hate speech on national television.
Ugh.
He was being hyperbolic.
Look, he ain't gonna say shit. He's just looking.
Thank you for the tier 1
he
membership.
didn't
Michael
say
Hopkins. I
anything.
really appreciate you. Usurp the Chef for $10. One thing that has surprised me about the MAGA movement is how inclusive of a party they are.
Y'all probably think I'm crazy. Like, I literally enjoy seeing people make a fool of themselves like this. Like, this just makes my day because it's so fucking embarrassing. And like, this is why I cover these stupid ass people, because why do they get online and do shit like this? Dude literally sat there and said nothing.
Bring through these geniuses. Thank you for the $20. $2 from Kahapro Project Video. I haven't heard about
Like,
any
the
of this. I have no-
confidence to get on the internet and make a fool of yourself, to me, is just, it's just so interesting to me that people do this. Like, even me getting on the internet, I was like a little scared because I might make a fool of myself one day. I'm not above that possibly happening to me, but these people go out of their way to do it. It's not even on accident.
of Trump's mobile and onto a real internet connection. Like, geez, your ping is higher than
Like,
your IQ.
you can't
And then
get into
$2
a
from Mr.
debate
Farr.
talking to Destiny, no matter how. Like, you got to be more prepared than this. I don't know why they thought they could talk to Destiny. This is ridiculous.
I'm kind of done.
Actually, wait, just real quick,
Go ahead.
I have got one final question. Okay, Steelborn. How much do you actually value free speech yourself, anyway?
It would depend on the context. So I am not a free speech absolutist, never
they-
have been. But do I think
They
that like
finna
free,
end soon.
free
We
speech
gonna
against
get
the
to
government is something that
our
should be
regular
regulated?
scheduled
No, I don't.
program.
Yes, I do think that you should not be able to be arrested for criticizing the government. That would be a retarded take to have that, especially
But Trump
unfortunately,
is-
I was born and raised in America, so I do have that American blood in me and the Americana. But like, do I think that? So there are examples of where I think that you could arrest people for speech, but I have a little bit of a conflicting view
Okay,
on
I'm
this,
going to
but-
have to interrupt you guys. $500 from Benjamin
God.
Warner.
Jesus
I am going to interrupt you for
Christ.
$500 fucking dollars. Thank
Somebody sent him
Fair enough.
$500?
Please ask the Irish guy. Destiny asked to give an example of Biden silencing free speech.
Wow.
You gave an example of Trump in office. Do you have an example of Biden doing that?
Somebody just gave Whick $500. Fuck.
Not off the top of my head. Like I said, I literally woke
And
up.
scene.
Hey,
I'll tell you my
$500. Go
situation.
find one.
I'll go find one right now. Yeah, I can do that
Yeah,
as well.
do
Yeah.
it.
But
$500
will I have
to find
time? Are we still
Dev,
going into
keep up
closing,
your
or,
line of
or is
questioning
that
while
going to be
he
an
goes look.
extension?
He said for
Yeah.
$500, you
Yeah.
better find one.
Here, just real quick, Steelborn. The reason I asked you that is because it sounds like to me you want to arrest every leftist.
I knew he had something on
No,
him.
I don't. I wouldn't call. Oh, his,
I knew
the
he
meme
had
that I posted,
something.
Yeah. No, I just thought that the meme was funny, but no, I don't actually call for the arrest of every leftist.
I
I
knew
think
he
people
had
can
something.
be, from my view, that people can be wrong, but that doesn't mean you should arrest them for it. But
Okay,
when people
fair
make
enough.
when people make more threats or that say much more violent things, like for example, I'll give you an example. If you had a right winger was saying like, I want to go and off Destiny, I'd be like, yeah, fucking shut that guy up. You shouldn't be saying shit like that. The same that I would say equally if a leftist was saying it.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have anything else while we wait for Mr. Irishman?
Wick is
No,
making him
great.
come up with
Notice-
something because he got that
I just wanted-
$500.
Just wanted to
Dono.
to highlight in terms of like if you want to do this again, no worries as well. Because like
He ain't
I
got
said, I do
nothing.
tend to get the super chats rolling, as you say. But in terms of like the Biden shit, it's like all the COVID cover-ups of all of the scientists that came out. Like that's probably the most egregious one.
Oh my
The
God.
Twitter file revelations of the FBI.
Well, so for the
like,
COVID
post-22
stuff,
showed
right?
the
Like
FBI,
all of the
yeah.
people that quote unquote came out, like on Joe Rogan show and everything, all of those people were wrong, right? There was no mass death event from any of the vaccines. There was no proof that there was any massive cover up or anything else. The ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, all those alternative
what I'm saying
medicines
is
that were
just the
pushed, all of them were
methodology
completely
again, and
wrong.
just the
Like just saying,
execution.
yeah.
Yeah, just the execution. I'm answering, trying to answer the $500 question. Respect the moolah, Destiny. Respect the cheese. So to answer this question, in terms of like the way they handle that, where scientists, like doctors and stuff, were put, they lost all their livelihoods and everything.
What does
And, like,
Biden
with
have to
the
do with that?
ivermectin thing,
Donald
the
Trump was president for the
ivermectin-
first part of the
the
whole
ivermectin was actually
COVID
turned
thing.
out to be one of these super drugs that we didn't even realize the potential.
Ivermectin is not a super drug.
And that was all suppressed.
There's a reason why
So in
retards like
terms of, like,
Scott,
with the free speech,
like Scott Adams,
like,
was literally
that's
having
why I
his
keep
body
pointing back
eaten
to the
alive by
system.
fucking cancer
And
because he
even
was trying
when
to
you
take
look at-
ivermectin for it.
Even when you look at Obama as well, like Obama was just as bad. Like people, there was a message where Obama actually bombed the U.S. citizen, all this kind of shit. So in terms of the
Wait,
dynamic,
Obama
it's the
bombed a
system,
US
not necessarily the
citizen?
individual. You're getting sidetracked by trying to demonize
I don't know anything
What do you mean by- wait, wait,
because
who-
even if you
yeah,
criticize him for being a retard,
Okay,
they
let
have
him
to-
hold on. Let him ask the question. Destiny.
Well, who did
what were you
Obama
asking?
bomb a U.S. citizen? What's that all about?
He goes like,
Can
I don't know
can we
anything
get
about
back
that.
to my thing? Because the thing that Destiny keeps dodging.
What do you keep saying
I
he's
want to know about
dodging
the bombing
for?
of the
I
U.S.
want to know about the
citizen.
bombing of the U.S. citizen. This sounds like some serious shit.
But,
Yes,
yeah, can we
Obama
get-
did bomb a
I
US
will
citizen.
get.
Wait, they
to that. I
think he
will get to
doesn't
that in
know
a
what he's
sec,
talking about.
Because that was I was talking about that as the super.
They don't know
chat.
Destiny's being
makes sense.
sarcastic.
So in terms of the thing you keep dodging is you're the one who's saying like that we do want to shield polling companies from inflating numbers, and then the outcome now is that these polling companies are not going to overinflate their numbers.
But they weren't
that's a good
overinflating the
outcome.
numbers before. Now the speech as chilled as they might be thinking twice
How'd
about
you know?
posting a poll that's bad about Trump.
How'd you know?
Because Seltzer was never
You
cooking
just
their
said
books.
Because they weren't. You said that because they weren't.
They were never
overinflating
cooking
before.
their
How'd you know?
books. They were never cooking their books. There was no proof of
Yeah,
it.
Dex, he doesn't know that Destiny's being sarcastic.
Yes,
though.
but even just in terms of the scientific gathering of the.
No,
the
there is no
data.
reason to change the scientific gathering
Yeah,
of
no,
anything.
no,
No,
you can
no,
you can do go
no,
into
you're wrong.
biased
No,
areas,
sorry,
you
you're
can
wrong.
have
You're
your
wrong
polling
and retarded.
conservative.
You're
Okay,
wrong.
50
You're completely
pounds.
fucking wrong.
Yep.
50
Non
pounds.
sequitur,
The outcome-
not
the
responsive,
outcome is still
illogical,
the same.
irrational.
Yeah, 50 pounds from DBZM to say if an idiot has access to nukes, shouldn't we be scared?
Do you think there's actually a threat of the United States president
Oh my
nuking
God.
us or even a foreign nation? Because the main thing about nukes is like
Oh my
everybody
God.
has them as a deterrent so that other people don't
That's
use
not
them.
the point.
And not only
based
that,
on the premise of that, based on the premise of that question as well, that I would say, okay, with the whole Iran situation, you would have been pro putting boots on the ground.
What?
You don't want idiots to have
Okay.
nukes, right?
Okay, I'm
You
done.
don't want Islamists.
said,
You
I'm
don't
done.
want to have
Hold
Islamists
on.
to have nukes, right?
So, Wick, you asked me for these, but you never used them, so I'm going to use them right now. Okay, this is once again in regards to the seditious six. Trump said that it was seditious behavior at the highest level. Each one of these traitors to our country should be arrested and put on trial. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. And then he also retweeted, "Hang them, George Washington would." You cannot find Biden saying anything like this. You cannot find Biden saying, "Hang my political enemies." In fact, whenever the lawsuits against Trump played out, Biden says, "I'm not going to comment on this because it would be inappropriate for me to do so." That's the difference between the two sides.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get to closing statements.
They not gonna say shit.
I'm gonna let Destiny go first, and then we're gonna let you
Okay.
have the last word, Mr. Leprechaun. Go ahead, Destiny, and then we'll end this nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's stupid as fuck. I mean, there's no evidence of.
Okay. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but that was funny as shit. Now to our regular scheduled program. Sorry, but so y'all know we always cover the Birdman when he does these exposing the grifts. Probably my favorite piece of content that he does. And he did one to Keno Flex. And for those that don't know, Keno Flex is, I guess he's kind of another anti-woke kind of conservative guy that tries to interject conservatism into movie and gaming media and stuff. And also, he also responded to one of my videos I did where Birdman covered, when the Birdman covered The Critical Drinker, he talked about, oh shit.
More money, more money, more money.
Shout out to Random University for the $27 super chat. My nigga. W's for Random for helping me get over the 600 threshold. Thank you, Random. Y'all, W's for Random in the chat. At least 27 of them. Shout out to Random for the $27 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Yes, so, yeah, Keno Flex, he responded to my video where I was watching Birdman cover Critical Drinker talking about Predator Badlands. And it was like 2 hours total. I didn't cover it because, to be honest, he wasn't even like disrespectful or anything. He just was talking about my response to his video. And I know he's been on the Birdman's ass for quite some time. He's been like commenting. He always like tries to debunk Birdman's perspective in his videos. And Birdman finally responded to him after quite a few times saying that I'm never going to respond to him. It's an hour long. I like when Birdman got longer videos. I feel like they never long enough for me. I like pause. Whoa.
Nigga, you gay.
So, but it's an hour long. He typically doesn't have hour long videos for exposing the grift, but it should be good if he posted it for being an hour. So let's get to it.
As some of you well know, Jack Kentner, a.k.a. KenoFlex, a.k.a. DoxoFlex, as we like to affectionately refer to him, recently re-uploaded a dumbass video that he originally did to criticize my video about
So the first one was responding to Birdman's terrible defense of the Predator Badlands, debunking the worst defenses of Predator Badlands. Why did he re-upload the same video and didn't even put the reason?
Predator Badlands and The Critical Drinker. I wasn't ever going to respond to this kid because he's hilariously bad at this, and every time I shit on people like this, some idiot claims I'm picking on them because they're smaller than me, when he's literally the guy with video after video after video on me. He has a litany of tweets, Discord messages, and community posts specifically about me, while I've done nothing to the guy but ignore him.
I don't want to be out of line or anything, but I think you like me. Like when you come at me, it's not a homophobic thing. You're just not the one for me, pal. Okay.
He is truly obsessed, even taking to Reddit on a burner account and speaking about himself in the third person, referring to himself as my nemesis. Of course, this Team Rocket washout is saying this because he produced.
Yeah, Dex, I mean, it's the truth of the matter is when something works for you, it works for you, and you're going to do it. But never mind.
Produced a series of videos attempting to criticize my Ironheart video, and these were among the most popular videos on his channel. In fact, they are the 3rd, 4th, 6th, 7th, and 8th most popular videos on his channel. And we're using the term popular relatively here. So, like any single-minded, short-sighted grifter, he decided to attempt to replicate this success by milking me for content, which I completely understand.
He's so fucking petty. He's so petty. But when I did look on Kino's page, most of his most popular videos is on Birdman.
And as I said before, this series isn't meant to respond to people that whine about me. I don't care about me. I care about the topics that I talk about. This isn't a drama channel. This isn't a drama series. But this little dipshit truly believes in his heart of hearts that
I've addressed this before, Birdbrain. I was requested by my audience to re-upload my video to fix a lighting issue. The description literally tells you this. You can't respond to any of my points in the video, so you resort to coping. How can you have a lighting video when you don't show yourself in the video? That's weird. I don't get how you have a lighting issue in a video where you don't show yourself. I don't know.
cannot refute the arguments he has presented against my Predator video. So let's put this little cum stain back in the Kleenex tissue his father should have shot him in. His mother's throat is already preoccupied.
Jesus Christ.
Hey guys, Dinoflex here. We have finally made to the finale of my response series to poor defenses of Predator Badlands, with us saying hello once again to Birdbrain.
Yes, this is the little pet name this moron thinks is a hilarious diss. It took all 12 of his IQ points to come up with a schoolyard insult like bird brain. I'm sure Farty McSmelly and PP Head were on the short list. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about my Predator video, and it takes this idiot nearly 10 minutes to do that, so let's skip ahead, shall we? Oh, and since this is one of those videos where someone is responding to me responding to someone else, I'm going to put background music behind the previous video so that you know when the old video is playing. It helps those who are only listening to this video differentiate between what I'm currently saying and what I've said in the past.
Okay, I like that because he typically doesn't do that, and sometimes it can get confusing because sometimes I just have to listen to his videos and I can't watch them. I'm glad he's doing that. Great improvement.
But let's see if it's actually correct by taking a look at his response to the Critical Drinker.
Predator Badlands has released, and everyone and their mama loves it.
Well, seeing how it flopped in theaters, that's not exactly true now, is it? A more accurate assessment would be that everyone couldn't be bothered to go see it because they had better things to do.
Yes, you guys. Doxoflex is one of those gullible morons that believes these fake made-up numbers that don't actually have a source. I have already debunked the marketing numbers these outlets like to use in a previous video, but the short version is that these numbers are based on estimates from sites like Deadline, an outlet that lists themselves as the source for their claims. There exists zero evidence that this film spent $70 million on its marketing. This is a regurgitation from another outlet who is repeating the claim from another outlet. I implore literally anyone watching this, find an actual source for this number, and all you will find is the word estimate over and over, and literally nothing from Disney themselves. People like this also leave out that we live in 2026, and that films in 2026 are not only making money at the box office, but are making money through merchandising deals, direct merch sales, and home release. As of the writing of this video, Badlands released on Disney Plus and Hulu a couple days ago, and immediately became a top performer on those platforms, which in turn drive revenue for those streaming platforms.
And just one day, Disney's 184 mil sequel is officially the most watched title on Hulu in America. Damn. That motherfuckers flock to that shit.
Platforms. Calling films flops at the box office is basically meaningless in today's age because movies.
I wouldn't go that far. Now, it can be a flop, and he knows that. If a movie doesn't make any money, that's a flop. But I get what he's saying. Like, there's other ways for them to make money, but, you know.
Studios are making money off these films in a variety of new ways, and that's why they're not in theaters that long anymore. They literally don't need it. However, it's another questionable take from Darth Grift that has compelled me to once again fire up the old Microsoft Word program to write this video. Oh, hello there. You're probably wondering why you're in my booth with me right now.
No, I'm really not. Just get to the point and stop wasting my time with the corny intro.
Incredible. Coming from the dipshit that spent 10 minutes talking about two entirely different videos than what was advertised in this video's title, and a lame skit with shit voice acting. You should probably take some tips, fruitcake. Your production quality is decidedly shit. That's literally the excuse you gave as to why you had to re-upload this video.
I've addressed. Oh, okay. So wait. He said.
And a lame skit with shit voice acting. You should probably take some tips.
Oh, a skit with voice acting. So maybe he did have some type of real life footage in that video then, I guess.
Fruitcake, your production quality is decidedly shit. That's literally the excuse you gave as to why you had to re-upload this video, right?
Life really is a matter of perspective. For example, your boyfriend isn't really a useless, effeminate pussy who makes your skin
Look at this reacception. You got the Birdman screen in the Birdman screen.
crawl. He's actually just redefining masculinity.
Bold of you to assume there are women with boyfriends watching your videos, drinker. Or gay men, for that matter.
Why would that be the case? Are you speaking from experience? No judgment, of course, but it's just weird how you're speaking on behalf of an entire community like that with nothing to back it up.
So we're taking obvious jokes seriously now? I mean, if that were the case, I could go through the trouble of proving that I'm not gay by showing a couple videos on my phone that would likely get me banned on YouTube, but you see, I recognize you calling me gay as a joke. It's very weird how you are unable to do that, Jack.
I went over to Drinker's subreddit, and what do you know? There are several members of his community who proudly express themselves as gay who despise several movies and shows Drinker negatively covers, thus making Birdbrain's assessment of an entire community of people being completely the same wrong.
Shout out Watts for the $5 super chat. Random University hurt my feelings yesterday, guys. You should send him hate mail. Oh man, if you had to be there, y'all. You had to be there. Shout out to Watts for the $5 super chat. Thank you, brother.
Yes, the very reliable I'm insert minority group here and I hate insert thing that minority group would like here. Very scientific. Since you're answering questions, how about this one? If 100% of gay people or 100% of women watched your bog standard critical drinker video, what percentage would you say would stick around? Once you have the answer to that question, you'll understand the joke I made.
So if you're trying to impress them by saying stuff like this, Birdbrain, I recommend that you quit while you're ahead, because I'm willing to bet that you're one asshole they don't want to fuck.
Ah, so we're posting each other's faces, yes? Fantastic. That means I get to post yours. That's so cool that you got to meet JJ.
Ooh. I got that on my soundboard.
Abrams. You know, I always wondered how tall he was. Oh. Well, that
God,
explains
so
why you're
petty. Hey, shout out to short Kangs out there. No disrespect to short men. he just gonna throw all short men under the bus. Jesus Christ.
Angry all the time, Jack Kentner, and why you're a Charlie Kirk wannabe, working for right-wing outlets that harass students, women, and minority groups, huh? Why you literally have 0 images of you with women, but plenty of you with the boys.
It is quite funny that these conservatives rarely, except for like I'll exclude like the manosphere guys, because they try to pretend that they get women, so they take pictures with them, except Myron, because we know why. But the conservative guys never have pictures with women, like, ever. It just be like, yeah, we're at the drinking beer with the boys. And it's like, bro, wouldn't you be around women?
And why you're a Charlie Kirk wannabe, working for right-wing outlets that harass students, women, and minority groups, huh? Why you literally have 0 images of you with women, but plenty of you with the boys. Why your testosterone is so low, the only thing you could grow on your face was pubic hair. Yeah, that explains exactly why you're a loser who spends his free time making fun of marginalized groups on the internet while being a dipshit low IQ manlet that is
Damn, so he was there and talked to Vivek.
visible to every woman walking past you down the street. And don't waste anyone's time claiming I'm doxing you, you hypocritical piece of shit. I have you on record admitting me showing your face and saying your name isn't doxing because all of this was public. So remember this the next time you want to show my face, Jack, because when you show what I actually look like, remember, I mog you hard from every angle. I had a stronger jawline than you when I was a child.
Why is he roasting this nigga like this? God damn. Jesus Christ. Why is he roasting this nigga like this? What the fuck? He said I had a stronger jawline than you as a kid. What the fuck is happening, bro? Oh, God. It is fucked up, though, that the people that choose to go faceless on their channel, not always, but they got so much shit to say, and then you look like this and talk about other people's looks. Is crazy.
So don't worry about who wants to fuck me and worry about tilting your head back when you speak to me, Napoleon.
Wow, look at that. That, me think, is, well, look like that you're L.
You see, you speak almost exclusively to right-wing incels that couldn't pay women to be with them. One only has to travel over to your neo-Nazi...
This nigga is too petty for me. Like, Jesus. He is too petty for me, bro. Like, god damn.
subreddit to see precisely how disgusting your fan base is towards women.
If you're outraged by what Birdbrain just said, don't worry, you're not alone. I also see this disgusting act of bigotry on display. How can you, a self-proclaimed woke progressive, misgender this absolute stud Elliot Page as a woman? Because I'll have you know that this bitch has a penis now, you goddamn transphobe.
I wonder who laughed at this. This was the big reveal this loser was teasing in Discord, where he told SK I'm apparently a transphobe, only for it to be a dumb joke that nobody laughed at. Let's move on. Except Sydney Sweeney, for a couple of reasons. Which is funny, because all this right-wing support hasn't exactly translated into box office success, has it?
Really, Birdbrain?
Yes, stupid, stinky duty head.
You're being a little too comfortable displaying your internalized homophobia here. After all, the movie you're bashing, Christie, is a film based on the true story of a lesbian athlete.
I'm sorry, this video long, but I feel like I'm not getting the real experience with this sped up. I'm sorry, like this is good.
Surviving domestic abuse from her misogynistic husband, trying to restrict her independence.
Oh,
and
it's
that
gonna be a long
doesn't
one.
exactly sound like a movie catered to right-wing incels. In fact, none of these Sydney Sweeney movies that were back-to-back flops were made with any sort of intent in trying to appease right-wing incels like you're implying.
I guess the people that follow you find this weird angle about me being homophobic and transphobic pretty hilarious, but I find it a waste of time. You also think I'm specifically picking on Christie when on the screen I showed a screenshot saying 4 back-to-back failures. Oh, and we know that right-wing incels don't go to the movies. You are once again missing the joke and the meta-commentary. In general, conservatives are anti-art, and that's because the vast majority of art is progressive. When a conservative tries to create art,
It doesn't work.
it's usually anti-art, a soulless reaction to progressivism that only exists to whine about the other side and says nothing meaningful beyond that. This is why it fails in the marketplace of ideas. Real art, on the other hand, has something to say, and it's often criticizing the power structure in some way. This is why all the way back in the 60s, you had Jack Kirby and Stan Lee standing up for minority groups in their work, and why conservatives of every single era have tried to stifle art.
So Stan Lee, I want to read this. Stan's soapbox. From time to time, we receive letters from readers who wonder why there's so much moralizing in our mags. They take great pains to point out that comics are supposed to be escapist reading and nothing more. But somehow I can't see it that way. It seems to me that a story without a message, however subliminal, is like a man without a soul. In fact, even the most escapist literature of all, old-time fairy tales and heroic legends, contain moral and philosophical points of view. True. At every college campus where I may speak, there's as much discussion of war and peace, civil rights, and the so-called youth rebellion as there is our Marvel mags per se. None of us lives in a vacuum. None of us is untouched by the everyday events about us. Events which shape our stories just as they shape our lives. Sure, our tales can be called escapist, but just because something's for fun doesn't mean we have to blanket our brains while we read it. Excelsior. That was good. That was good. That was good. And this is the same creator that made these comics that they claim to love, and then as soon as a black person gets on screen, they're yelling DEI. Crazy.
In the 90s, conservative groups tried to get Pokemon and Marilyn Manson banned. In the 2000s, Christian groups tried to get Harry Potter banned for
That's true. These motherfuckers always just want to ban shit because they don't like it.
promoting witchcraft. Hell, we can go back to the Renaissance, where Savonarola led a moral crusade against the art of the time, literally destroying it because it was progressive, or as he put it, a battle against vanity, luxury, paganism, and moral corruption. This is what you people have always done. What you like now, conservatives of the past hated and tried to have destroyed. I'm using a joke about Sydney Sweeney to highlight this fact, that you will rah-rah behind what you believe is a conservative figure, but you won't go support the actual art that artist makes. Hello.
If anything, they're pandering to people like yourself. Self-proclaimed progressives who swear up and down that they want more movies with female leads and gay
Birdman is not a self-proclaimed progressive. Why would he say that?
characters, only for the theater showing those exact movies to go completely empty because they, along with general audiences, don't actually care in the same way they don't tend to care about female sports divisions.
Hopefully you guys can see that this guy is just an anti-woke loser looking to grind an axe. Completely unhinged and off topic. First of all, I'm not a self-proclaimed anything.
So he highlighted, I like to preface this with the fact that I don't claim to be anything politically, right? Like he's always made sure he tell people he don't put a label on himself.
Like, I literally say I don't call myself anything. So you are very much lying right now, as I have not self-proclaimed to be a part of any group or ideology. In fact, I'm anti-ideology, something I've literally been saying for years publicly. Second, I don't ask for anything in film. I am a film critic. It's how I got my start on YouTube. That being the case, I criticize a media property for what it is, not what I wanted it to be. Unlike you people, I'm a functional adult, and I don't go around crying like a little bitch when a movie stars an actor with an ethnicity or gender that doesn't match my own. I couldn't care less if a cast was 100% white or as diverse as
I could care less.
My hometown. The only thing I ever concern myself with is the film good? You should read my Letterboxd reviews. Not only would your illiterate ass learn how to write, you'll see that this caricature you paint of me is completely invalid by simply listening to what I actually say about movies.
The only thing box office bombs like Christie communicate is that audiences aren't interested in seeing stories featuring women or gay characters, which is a sentiment being repeated even as we speak.
In what world do you live in where people broadly aren't watching movies starring women? Jurassic World Rebirth was the 6th place film at last year's box office, and the protagonist was portrayed by Scarlett Johansson. Judy Hopps is the protagonist of Zootopia 2.
I still got to see Zootopia 2, man.
A film that is sitting just under $2 billion. Lilo and Stitch features 2 female protagonists. One of them, the first name in Lilo and Stitch, and it made over $1 billion. Should I do the same for 2024? As for films starring queer people, there just isn't enough data to make this claim. According to GLAAD's actual website, films barely have them as characters, let alone...
Just so y'all know, these are the reasons why I like the content creators that I like. They don't just be talking out of their ass for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like, the man goes through and, like, tries to back... Even if you disagree, he backs up his claims.
The main character of a big-budget film. You're making claims for which there exists no actual data. You should pipe down, clown.
And honestly, if the most vocal within the community overreact by calling for boycotts of a film for benign puns over genes, what's the point in pandering to them anyway if they are just going to be unreasonable snowflakes? Though with Birdbrain, I can at least understand why he's so offended, since his genes seem to have unfortunately gifted him with a few extra chromosomes and an inferiority complex.
That's pretty funny, coming from a guy that needs a booster seat to eat at IHOP.
No, it's actually redefining what a Predator movie should be.
What a completely uncharitable and myopic take on the plot of this film. I mean, saying Deck has daddy issues is an attempt at trivializing an important aspect of Yautja culture that predates this film. Deck in the film is trying to earn his place in his clan while also honoring his brother in the process, and to do that, he needs to bring back a trophy. If he succeeds, he would presumably be taken on a xenomorph hunt and become blooded.
Except his dad has no intention of taking him on any kind of xenomorph hunt. The plot of the film is him trying to kill Deck for simply being a runt. In other words, he was never going to give him a chance in the first place.
Completely immaterial to the motivations of the protagonist, which is what I am speaking about.
Right.
That's why I said presumably, or to presume, in case you don't know what that word means.
This is what's so important about when people, this is why I care about words, because you see that Birdman specifically said he presumably thinks that it'll go in favor of his dad. What Deck was doing presumably will help him be accepted by his dad. I don't think that was but I'm paraphrasing. Kino hears that and says, except that's not what happened because he never had any intentions on accepting him anyway. Not from Deck's perspective. From Deck's perspective in Badlands, he thought if he got his trophy, he would get accepted. And that's exactly what Birdman said. But Kino is just so fixated on trying to make him look stupid, he doesn't even understand what's being said. And that's why, like, when people be like, well, oh, you're being pedantic. Well, sometimes pedantry matters. There's times where it doesn't, if you understand the point I'm trying to make. But there's other times where literally one word completely changes what the intent of the statement is, and that shit matters.
We know you don't. Here's the definition of presume. As we can all see, I am clearly communicating that from Deck's perspective, he believes that if he is successful at his goal, he'll be able to go on living a normal life for a Yautja. This is exactly what happens in the film, as Deck accomplishes his goal, kills his father, and is presumably accepted by his clan.
Damn, spoiler alert, Jesus Christ. I don't know if y'all saw the movie or not.
until his mother shows up and the film ends on a
Damn, he going all the way. Shit, stop. What the
cliffhanger.
fuck?
The concept of being blooded
Damn.
and unblooded has existed in the comics and novels for decades. The 1994 novel, Prey, Aliens vs. Predator by Steve and Stephanie Perry follows the story of Michiko Noguchi, a human, and Yeyinde, a Yautja warrior that is taking young, unblooded Yautja on their first xenomorph hunt so they can earn their blooded rank. The novel literally mentions that. Yeah, see? It's right there. My point is, a lot of what we see in this film is already established lore for the Predators. The title of Drinker's video exposes that he has no true understanding of this franchise and isn't a reliable resource. Disney did not create these concepts, as they have existed long before Disney acquired Fox. Drinker, once again, does not know what he's talking about, yet is speaking as an authority on a topic.
Wow, that's some really riveting stuff, Bird Brain. But unfortunately, I have some bad news for you. If you want to be autistic about the Predator lore, go right ahead. But unfortunately for you, I have the superior autism, because I actually bothered to look into it, unlike you, who just purposefully half-asses it because you're a grifting scumbag. Apparently,
Shout out to Albert for the $12 super chat. Damn it, he spoiled the ending. I was going to watch the movie tomorrow. Damn, Albert, I'm so sorry. I didn't know he was going to do that. I would have thought he would have been like, spoiler alert or something. That's like, yeah, the movie is not new, but it just got on TV where a lot of people will turn around and watch it. Damn, Albert, I really feel bad. I didn't like that, just blew me. I didn't think he was going to do that. I mean, Albert is still a good movie. Watch it. It's really good. So, but yeah, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't think he would do that so flippantly.
this needs to be said again, but
You're probably lying. Yeah, the Corey vibe made me just realize, because like, damn, I was going to watch it tomorrow. Like, you probably lying. If you lying, thank you for the super chat. If you meant it, I'm sorry.
Deck's dad broke the Yautja honor code by trying to kill Deck and murdering his brother, which is a severe violation. If a predator kills or attempts to kill another predator that hasn't already committed a crime, then they are labeled a bad blood and to be immediately killed. In other words, if we were operating under the canon rules found in the source material of the comics and books, Deck's father would lose his title of chief and become a bad blood. But we are not operating under the canon rules. We are operating under Disney's own rules that are entirely different lore. What Birdbrain is pointing to are simply Easter eggs that reference the source material. It's not staying faithful to it.
Incorrect buzzer noises.
That doesn't even make sense.
Easter eggs? That's cope. You're admitting that it's following the established lore, but for some reason are trying to spin me correctly explaining that lore as a negative somehow. You failed. Also, you're not very good at research, Holmes Skillet, because if you were, you'd have found the prequel comic where it's shown precisely why Deck's father, Nior, wanted him killed. Deck was tasked with recovering a machine part, and Deck believes this will put him on the path to becoming blooded. He literally says that in the comic, meaning, yes, this franchise is following the established lore. Hold this L, Millhouse.
That, me think, is, well, look like that you're L.
Anyway, Deck fails this task, as upon recovering the machine part, there is an explosion which causes him to drop and lose that part. This greatly angers his father, and this, along with being a runt, is why Nior wants him killed. So we get to the movie and we learn that Quay was secretly tasked with killing his brother for this failure. Quay disobeyed a direct order from his clan's leader and attempted to fight his father, thus opening himself up to being rightfully killed according to Yautja law. You can clearly see that Nior aimed his plasma caster at Deck, and Quay steps in front of it and raises his sword against his clan leader. So you see, Doxoflex, you labeled the wrong Yautja as a bad blood. If anything, Quay was the bad blood.
That's not a spoiler. That's the beginning of the movie.
I mean, even if you reject all of what I just said, on your own source, it clearly states that high-ranked
I don't know, it's kind of young.
seasoned warriors have leeway with the code. Are you blind in addition to being stupid as fuck?
That long-winded rant he went on was pointless because he has no clue what he's talking about.
Irony. And before any of you morons start, I am not suggesting one needs to read a book to understand this movie. What I am saying is that if you're going to criticize this movie for doing certain things, you might want to actually know if it's breaking its own established lore first, and this information is only a simple Google search away. To suggest any of this is a result of Disney interference is to criticize something that is out of universe, and therefore it is fair game to bring up supplemental material that debunks that very criticism.
Okay, but hear me out, Birdbrain. What if people think the source material is bad too?
Irrelevant. The Critical Drinker stated this movie was redefining what a Predator movie should be, and I prove the film followed already established lore. There's no reason to seriously address this subjective value judgment, so let's move it along, shall we?
You shouldn't have to read the source material outside of the adaptation to understand or appreciate its plotline. The standalone story should be able to do that on its own.
So this goofy idiot heard me explicitly state I'm not saying you need to read supplemental material to understand the movie.
Why would he say that?
And he still does the whole, you shouldn't need to read a book
Like,
bullshit.
that's so weird. Why would he say that after he just explicitly said, I don't expect everybody to read it?
That CinemaSins popularized. I'm not going to repeat myself, as I explicitly explained that you don't need to do this, and he literally agreed. Let's move on.
Now, I can't say I was exactly bursting with anticipation when I went into this one, partly because the concept of a Predator movie told from the Predator's point of view felt like a fundamental betrayal of the very thing that makes them compelling, their mystique.
Here is the definition of the word mystique. As you can see, this word essentially means something that is mysterious, and after 9 movies, various comic books, and video games, I don't think the Predators and mystique belong in the same sentence.
Then I would say you're an idiot because, once again, one of the established rules of the Yautja Honor Code can be used against you, as maintaining their mystique in order for other species to not discover or acquire their technology has been very well established.
Imagine calling anyone stupid when you just failed to grasp the difference between diegetic and non-diegetic criticism. Drinker is referring to the film being told from the perspective of a Yautja, something novel to the series. In order to criticize this idea, he says that the audience following the Yautja makes the Predator lose its mystique, as in other films the creature acts as a slasher, where part of the appeal is the mystery surrounding an enemy that generally attacks from the shadows. My response is to later bring up films like In a Violent Nature, where we are shown the perspective of a slasher. This conversation is entirely non-diegetic, or
Explain, like, in a violent nature, a story told from the perspective of the killer is relatively novel. True. Except for, like, I guess, Dexter. Well, Dexter doesn't narrate it, but
out of universe. Your dumbass decided to talk about the Yautja hiding their weaponry from other species, a diegetic or in-universe concept.
Wait, he said that? Hold on. If he completely was talking about in universe, that's stupid. I didn't even know that he just said that. Hold on, I'm sorry, y'all.
Same sentence.
Then I would say you're an idiot because, once again, one of the established rules of the Yautja Honor Code can be used against you, as maintaining their mystique in order for other species to not discover or acquire their technology has been very well established.
Oh my God. He's dumber than I thought. That was really stupid. That was stupid. Because clearly, I didn't even know these terms, diegetic and non-diegetic. I don't know these terms, but that was stupid as fuck. I understand, but the concept makes clear sense. Like, clearly, we're not talking about the mystique in universe. Obviously, he's talking about the mystique to the viewer. And this motherfucker just said, oh, yeah, well, they in the movie. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him?
Diegetic or in-universe concept, something Drinker and I are not talking about. You are supremely bad at this. I'm entirely shocked that you don't wear Velcro shoes. In other words, these are slasher films, something we have seen many times over the years. Something we haven't seen is a slasher film told from the perspective of the slasher. All right, In a Violent Nature did it first, and I highly recommend y'all check that out. But my point is,
In a Violent Nature, has anybody seen that?
About the killer by following the killer is a relatively novel concept, and is part of why this movie works so well. I have no idea why the guy that sits here and claims every Marvel movie is the same is upset that a long-running franchise is switching up the formula and breathing new life into that franchise. Oh wait, actually I do.
Correct, Bird Brain. It's only new in the sense that we have a Predator as a protagonist. But other than that, it's a safe by-the-numbers Disney movie that we've seen time and time again.
No,
The entire movie
I
is
would
just a
agree with
worse
that.
version of Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm so tired. I need to get that. I think I need that Joe Budden meme on my soundboard. I'm getting that Joe Budden meme. I love the podcast too much to not have it. I need that shit.
And while I will agree that the Predator franchise can absolutely be considered
You hate
part of the
horror? I
slasher
love horror.
genre, that's not what Badlands is at all.
Not both of y'all don't like horror.
And that's not even a point that's in contention.
I love horror.
As people who enjoy the film have used that as a reason to praise it. So when you say that Badlands is comparable to In a Violent Nature, when it most certainly is not, you once again expose yourself as a low IQ nincompoop.
Wait, but he was saying that it's like it as far as telling the story from the slasher. He didn't say it's like it because they're gory films. What the hell is he? Oh my God. Oh yeah, that shit is a 2-pack of ass. You're right.
Once again, irony. Your argument here was,
yes, I agree the Predator franchise is a slasher franchise, but because it's not exactly the same as In a Violent Nature, you're wrong, Bird Brain.
it's like, where did I say they were exactly the same?
my God.
Like, did you hear what I said? I said learning about the killer by following the killer is a relatively novel concept.
Right.
Once again, your dumbass came to an entirely different conclusion than what either Drinker or I were talking about.
Intellectual giants like Grace Randolph, who boldly gushed over the film's humanization of the Predator.
It's like it's almost as if Kino, the only way he could have made this video is by intentionally misrepresenting it. That's the only way he was able to do this video, because this is stupid.
And a possible romantic relationship with a fucking androids.
Drinker is referring to this tweet, which he quote tweeted. It's very clear that Grace is making a joke here, something Drinker thinks he does whenever he uses this clip.
This next section is really weird, because he tries to defend Grace Randolph for saying that there was romance between Deck and Thea by saying she was joking, despite nothing about it being a joke, with her even doubling down.
That's probably because you are not very intelligent and you can barely keep up with things that are explicitly stated. So I completely understand how the nuance of a joke might be lost on you, Jackie boy, especially when it comes from those you deem to be your enemy. I mean, we've already established that you
CK, I need that too, low key. I need that on my soundboard. I don't know anybody that has it. I need to get that one. And I need to get My Leg, because that shit made my childhood. My leg! My leg! I said it wrong the first time.
See yourself as my nemesis, and you took my joke dead-ass serious earlier in this video. But
I gotta write these
strangely,
down before I
unlike
forget.
how they treat me, Drinker's fanboys don't call him obsessed with Grace, or Disney, or Rachel Zegler, or Brie Larson, or Daisy Ridley. I guess it's okay when he retreads the same tire topics over and over, huh?
Yes, it is, and I'll happily explain why in detail.
And I'm sure whoever hears this will be totally interested, but I am not, and will thus skip this irrelevant part of this bloated video, as it is you once again taking an offhand comment by me and turning it into something it didn't need to turn into. This video is titled Debunking the Worst Defenses of Predator Badlands, and since Drinker not being called obsessed by his sycophants is not that, we're going to move this train right on along. Skip. Drinker's tweet is also really dumb. Firstly, he refers to Weyland Yutani synths as robots. It would be far more accurate to refer to them as androids. He then says that robots don't have genders. They very explicitly do. We call this android he, which is a pronoun that refers to the gender of the android. Trust me, Drinker does this subconsciously himself.
Since Bird Brain needs things constantly explained to him, I'll explain the joke to him. This is Critical Drinker mocking Grace for pandering to a progressive audience by pointing out that she's not being progressive enough. Since a lot of people on the far left have extremely fringe theories on gender, which includes asserting that robots have no gender and are non-binary. And if you think I'm making this up, here's the previously mentioned second in command of Bird Brain's Butt Buddy Brigade expressing this very viewpoint.
Here's one.
He just called Butt Buddy Brigade. He's only saying that because Eric is gay. Like, if Eric wasn't, first of all, there's straight people that have this perspective. And if Eric wasn't gay, he wouldn't have said Butt Buddy Brigade. That's crazy, bro. That's so crazy.
He goes, Predator Badlands perfectly demonstrates how the great feminization has destroyed culture. The Predator is guided by a female character on an emotional journey, helping him become vulnerable, get in touch with his feelings, and choose friendship over family.
Oh my God.
This is such a completely disingenuous take on the movie. First of all,
honest interpretation of what the movie was doing.
Not a female, because this character is not a human. They're not biological.
She's a
synth. Just like every other humanoid character in this movie outside of the Predator is a synthetic. They're not male or female because they're not biological. So it is an android or a synthetic that looks like a woman. No female stuff going on there whatsoever.
First of all, the idea that Drinker's tweet was a joke is cope. If he wasn't trying to criticize...
What did Drinker say? Drinker said, pretty sure that's a robot, Grace. Robots don't have a gender. Hope this helps. See, you stupid. Robots don't have a fucking sex. But you mean android, but robots, androids do have gender. Literally, we refer to android, what is it, 18, right? The blonde one? Y'all, I'll be forgetting their numbers sometimes. Either 16 or 18 from DBZ. We say she. We say she. The one with the black hair, we say he. They do have genders, and this is a clear example of why sex and gender are two different things. That's the best example. And just like I forgot her name in the movie. This android in the movie, I forgot her name. We call her she because her gender is clearly expressed as a she. But is she a female? No.
Her joke tweet, he had no reason to double down on that very criticism in his video.
And partly because of early reviews from
18 is
intellectual
bad.
giants like Grace Randolph, who boldly gushed over the film's humanization of the Predator and a possible romantic relationship with a fucking androids.
So nice try, but no. Second, I don't know what you think Eric is saying, but it sure
I think Android 21 was made for gooners.
as fuck isn't supporting anything you're trying to communicate, 12 IQ. Eric, being a member of the LGBTQ community, intimately understands the difference between sex and gender. You, being an unintelligent, anti-woke incel loser...
Yes, his hair is feminine, but he's still a guy.
Do not.
17.
The cartoon you showed on the screen was referring to gender, which is what determines our usage of certain pronouns, hence the they-them pronouns being used for an otherwise genderless robot. Eric, on the other hand, is talking about sex, which is why you clearly hear him saying male and female, which is a biological marker that the android wouldn't have. You also hear him using the pronoun she, which refers to the gender of the android.
Right.
She's a synth. She's a synth.
Right, he didn't say
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Wow, great job pointing out that what he said wasn't a serious stance, but a joke which was obvious to anyone who looked at it for even 5 seconds.
No, he was not joking. He meant that. And y'all don't understand the difference between sex and gender. That was not a fucking joke. Because Grace was...
You are coping, sir. Cope harder.
Stuff like this is why women's fiction should be banned.
What even is this? The concept that a biological being has a romantic relationship with a synthetic being is why women's fiction should be banned? So Blade Runner is women's fiction now? Pretty fucking sure Deckard had a baby with Rachel in that franchise. How about Ex Machina? Or The Creator? Or any of the thousands of
I
science
still need to see The Creator because I heard good things.
fiction stories where a man falls in love with an android. This is one of the most common tropes in science fiction, so much so it could be called a subgenre. What is this man ever talking about?
Congratulations on being the shit out of that straw man.
Congratulations on proving you don't know what a straw man is, nor did you understand Drinker's point or my rebuttal
This remind me of Watts with his...
to said point. You're high on extra strength copium right now, suggesting his tweet was a joke, because upon being shown irrefutable evidence that he was not joking when he doubled down on that position and then said women's fiction should be banned, you had no argument. The title of this video contains the word debunk, and you ain't debunked shit yet.
But the problem in this instance isn't romance. It's changing the overall genre of a pre-existing franchise into something it isn't. All 3 of his examples are films that are not only not action movies that explicitly focus on romance.
I might need that too, CK. You are coping.
Unlike the Predator franchise, but they're also the first or
seething.
only entries to their respective franchises, which makes romance being a major focus in the stories okay, since nothing is being sacrificed or undermined to tell those stories. Predator is an action franchise, meaning the main focus should be on the action, not romance. It's like someone saying that you should automatically enjoy something like Slippin' Jimmy because other cartoons like Looney Tunes are good, even though Slippin' Jimmy is a spin-off of Better Call Saul, despite having little in common with that show, which makes accepting it as part of the overarching universe it's a part of impossible. Even though Badlands is not a romance, the fact that it's an action comedy makes it incompatible with the franchise with how it breaks the rules of said franchise. Most people understand this intuitively in the same way that they can understand that if they put their hand on a hot stove, they'd burn themselves. Or that if they didn't eat breakfast this morning, they'd probably feel hungry. Not Birdbrain though, as he has zero understanding of how anything works, since he's stupid.
So I let this mush mouth slur his words for a while there to show how tangled this man's arguments are. That was almost as incomprehensible as much as it was incorrect. I mean, he just said The Creator isn't an action film, which...
Now he used Drinker's laugh.
But more importantly, why is he attacking me here? My 3 examples were to show that romance with a synthetic is an extremely common trope in science fiction. So, Drinker suggesting that women's fiction should be banned because a woman made a joke touching on this topic on Twitter was silly. I was not making an argument that there should be a romantic subplot in Badlands, nor was anyone here talking about a genre shift. What the fuck is this nasally voiced bastard talking about?
Whatever the cost of selling your soul to your corporate overlords, I hope it was worth it, you bunch of dicks.
Way to reveal you don't know how Rotten Tomatoes works in 2025, even though on their website they explicitly tell you the percentage is the amount of people that gave it a positive score. So Jack decides to play something from EFAP here, suggesting they have already addressed this point, like there's some sort of authority or something.
Right.
Well, considering we don't give a fuck what EFAP has to say about anything, and that video clip has nothing to do with me, the Birdman, let's move on to the fact that Jack cut out in part of my video where I show how the audience ranked the Predator films, proving that Drinker's issue with the critics is misplaced.
And Badlands and Killer of Killers is the top 2, and then Prey is number 4. Prey is really good, y'all. I actually decided to go see Badlands because I saw Prey and enjoyed it so much. I've never got into Predator, like being transparent. I never, not that I was against it for any reason. It's just something I just never got into. And once I'm super behind something, I don't be trying to go back. Like, I don't know nothing about Star Wars. I'm not finna go back on that shit. It's just way too much that I was just like, I'm just not gonna know nothing about Star Wars. I'm just not. Star Trek, I'm behind. It's not gonna be in my Rolodex of media. You know, what's another one? Lord of the Rings. Just not doing it. You know, it's just some popular things I'm just never gonna watch. I just never got into Predator, but when I saw Prey, I was like, damn, this shit was good. I went back and watched, I went to watch Badlands, loved it. Then I watched Killer of Killers, loved it. Now I'm going to go back and watch all the other Predator movies, so I could be all up to date. I haven't watched Alien. Maybe I'll watch the Alien movies because I know they cross each other. If I like Predator enough, I'll probably just go back and try to watch the Alien movies too because I know they cross.
Because the general public more or less agree with those critics. Why would you cut that out, Jack? To make it look like I'm only talking about the critic scores? Very curious. Regardless.
And you know what I just noticed about all that too? Oh no, that's the reviewers. Okay. I was trying to see. Okay. The older movies, of course, have more people rating them, of course. There's way less people on the newer ones. I think people just don't take the time to do these things, but, you know.
Only talking about the critic scores?
I watched like the first 3 or 4. I watched the first 3 Harry Potters beginning to end. After that, I don't. I think I saw 4, but don't remember the 4th one. Because they was coming out too fast. I couldn't keep up.
Very curious. Regardless, the
I think I went to college and then I just didn't go to the movies the way I was before college.
film we are currently talking about is considered the best film in the franchise, according to the audience score, a metric we all already know you accept.
I don't recall Drinker actually having this as a position.
And that's probably why you should have stayed on the sidelines where you belong, water boy. The video you're critiquing is a part of a series, and in that series, I have already shown Drinker accepts the audience score. That you don't know this is a you problem.
Yeah.
Drinker says that he trusts audience scores more than critic scores given how there's increasingly less incentives for them to be honest. But that doesn't mean that Drinker just blindly agrees with whatever the audience score is, because trusting someone more doesn't mean you always agree with them.
But that just, all that does is try to give you plausible deniability. It's like, I trust the critics, I trust the viewers when they agree with me, but when they don't agree with me, then they're paid off, or they just don't want to seem like they're against wokeness or whatever. It always gives you an excuse. Like, it's not about trusting audience scores, it's about what the general consensus of something is. Like, when I be telling people, I'm like, well, a lot of people like this movie, I'm not saying like you should like it because other people like it. It's just when people be like, that shit trash, nobody like it, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, people that went to see it say they like it. Like, it's not to say you supposed to like it, but don't say like the masses don't when it's like getting good reviews by people that review movies generally. You know what I'm saying? Because you could go look at other movies where a lot of people reviewed it and they be like, this shit trash. It's not to say that you're supposed to feel the same way as those people.
And that's not what was said. What was said is it's a metric that he accepts. If you want to claim he can pick and choose when to accept the audience score, then both of you are being disingenuous and lose credibility as media critics, because what you are communicating is that you have no standards and only accept a metric when you agree with the results of that metric. And for clarity's sake, agree with them makes no sense here. I am talking about a tool used to gauge the audience's feelings on a media property. He can disagree with an outcome of a poll, but that doesn't mean he all of a sudden disagrees with polls. Damn, dude, shut the fuck up. Your whiny-ass voice is already grating enough. Get to an actual debunk already.
The movie kicks off on the Predator homeworld, which funnily enough looks almost exactly like the other planet where the bulk of this film takes place. Hats off for the imaginative environmental design, chaps. Anyway, for that reason, I'm gonna call it generic alien planet number 1, because that's all it is.
That is a blatant lie. The movie begins on Yautja Prime, specifically the part of
Why? Shut the fuck up. When I watch something, I say it. When I watch something prior to, I say it. Shut up.
Yautja Prime that is almost exclusively a desert biome. As far as we know, Yautja Prime has 2 biomes, a lush jungle and a vast desert. It could be that because the Drinker's clearly using low-quality cam rip footage of the film that he can't tell the difference between the 2 planets, but that's his fault for stealing this film. Either way, the Critical Drinker is lying to you.
I've talked about this before in my previous parts, but this ultimately just amounts to a subjective criticism from Drinker. He thinks it looks generic. Birdbrain doesn't think it looks generic. Both are fine points of view to have.
Holy cope.
Birdbrain does ultimately just amounts to a subjective criticism from Drinker. He thinks it looks generic. This ultimately just amounts to a subjective criticism from Drinker. He thinks it looks generic.
No, you're making shit up. This is, oh my God. Wait.
But this ultimately just amounts to a subjective criticism from
Subjective criticism. No, he said it looks like it's something. He didn't say it just looks bad. He said it looks like something else. That's not bro.
He thinks it looks generic. Birdbrain doesn't think it looks generic.
He didn't say generic. He said it looks like the other planet. I remember, now I didn't watch this video, but I remember that criticism from from what all this other shit is. These past videos and this reacception we doing right now. I remember that. No, he didn't say it looks generic. He said it looked like the other planet, which nothing about those 2 planets look anything alike.
Both are fine points of view to have.
Holy cope, Batman. I give irrefutable evidence that the Critical Drinker blatantly lied, and Cottonmouth here tries to say that this is the Drinker's subjective opinion. I'm sorry. You cannot have a subjective opinion that 2 distinctly different things look the same when they do not. That's not what subjective opinion means. He saw an area with literally 0 vegetation and said the place with an overabundance of vegetation looks like the place with 0 vegetation. I'm sorry, sir. That's just a lie. Drinker lies about things that he wants people to hate. This is very common from right-wingers, Jack. I mean, you are literally doing that to me in this video.
True.
Where his mission is to find and kill.
That is very true.
the Kalisk, the most powerful and dangerous animal on the planet, and return victorious to generic alien planet number 1 so that he can take revenge on his toxically masculine dads. I mean, call me crazy here, but why not just go straight back there and kill him anyway? I mean, it's not like he's gonna have you back even if you do succeed.
Wait, what?
Revenge on his planet and return victorious to generic alien planet number 1 so that he can take revenge on his toxically masculine dads. I mean, call me crazy here, but why not just go straight back there and kill him anyway? I mean, it's not like he's gonna have you back even if you do succeed.
Well, that sounds like you're saying that in hindsight. Why he wouldn't think that when he came back that he that's a hindsight take. You can't do that. That's not something you would think in the middle of watching the movie.
Ah, whatever. Let's just go with it so that the rest of the plot can happen.
This sounds suspiciously like the drinker didn't actually watch the film. Deck's purpose is to be accepted by his clan. Simply killing his father doesn't mean the clan will accept him. He needs to follow the protocol.
See, some of this stuff I'm making more sense of because when I watched, remember y'all, I watched this, I reacted to Kino. It was this movie. I reacted to Birdman covering Critical Drinker, like what we just watched. I reacted to that before I saw the movie. Then I saw the movie, so I understood things better. And then Kino responded to me. I didn't see Kino respond to this video, but Kino responded to me responding to Birdman responding to Critical Drinker. And so I didn't see Kino cover this video. Like what I'm seeing Kino talk, I didn't see that shit. So now I'm making more sense of it. But what Critical Drinker just said is ridiculous to say in as far as in universe of the movie. That doesn't make any sense. Like he just said, like you wouldn't think, like you're not gonna say go back and kill your dad until you actually saw the movie and saw how it ended up. That doesn't make sense.
Of his race and do the thing that will deem him worthy. You say this as if others within the clan aren't close to as tough as his father. If he offs his dad, but another tough member of the clan assumes his father's role, then he'll have to kill him, and so on. The goal is to become a valuable member of
Shout out to the 50 in chat. Make sure y'all like the stream, man.
his society.
For someone who accuses other people of not watching the movie, you sure like adding a bunch of shit that was never implied or happened. If he kills his dad, which he has every right to do since he's a criminal by their standards, then he's already proven himself as not being weak. So why would they try to kill him under the presumption of him being weak?
I love how smug you act when you are so stupid you don't even realize what you're saying is stupid. Love
being weak, which he has every right to do since he's a criminal by their was never implied or happened.
And so on. The goal is to become a valuable member of his society.
For someone who accuses other people of not watching the movie, you sure like adding a bunch of shit that was never implied or happened. If he kills his dad, which he has every right to do since he's a criminal by their standards, then he's already proven himself as not being weak. So why would they try to kill him under the presumption of him being weak?
I love how smug you act when you are so stupid you don't even realize what you're saying is stupid. Deck is unblooded, you moron. He has yet to fulfill his duties to the clan. Drinker's dumbass idea was for him to just return and kill his father. I explained that doing this doesn't prove anything to the clan, as the clan requires you to hunt something to become a part of it, not kill the clan leader. This fucking idiot already brought up the Yautja honor code and somehow isn't applying that standard to Drinker. But that's what these right-wingers do.
My God.
They'll never hold those on their own side to the same standards they hold others.
See that now that because I'm not attuned to the Predator lore like that, so that shit I can't process that in real time. But they did cover the lore, and I'm guessing he just betrayed his own premise of trying to correct Birdman on what Yautja, traditions are, and he's just betraying it but not calling Drinker out on it. That's crazy.
And that's what makes Doxoflex's critique worthless. It's arbitrary.
Anyway, this is where Lumpy runs into quirky android lady who was part of a Weyland-Yutani expedition to the planet until her team got attacked and torn apart, literally, by the Kalisk. Oh yeah, and she can speak fluent Predator. How? Don't know.
Oh, that was so stupid. I remember that too. Like, that was... That was so stupid because the movie literally explained why she was able to speak to everybody.
Now it really sounds like you didn't watch the movie. They literally tell you how and why she can speak
That was so
Yautja.
stupid.
No, Bird Brain. This is not the film telling you how she knows how to speak Yautja. This is the film telling you something without making much sense, because how exactly does she know fluent Yautja when that species keeps every aspect of their culture a secret?
What you are expressing is a subjective value judgment. The logic as presented in the film was that Thea extensively studied Yautja culture and that she has a universal translator. She attempts to speak Yautja at the beginning, but she's not good at it, so she switches to universal translation mode. When she studied Yautja culture isn't shown because when she studied Yautja culture is not important for the story that the film is trying to tell. You're watching a science fiction film about sentient aliens with laser swords.
Did I get rated or
Suspend your
something?
disbelief. Not having every detail of a character's past doesn't mean a film is bad or even wrong for not telling you. You telling me you don't like the explanation the film gives is irrelevant to me, because why should we care what you think? You're an idiot.
She makes some vague reference to other predators visiting the planet and talking to her, which makes no sense really, because Lumpy's brother specifically said they don't go there because they're all afraid.
Nugget, did you just find my channel? Are you a sub, or did I get rated? Because I have a lot more viewers, like, quickly. I don't know what happened.
The Kalisk.
First of all, she didn't say or imply that she spoke to other Yautja. As you saw in the footage I provided, she specifically had to turn on her Yautja-specific translator after trying to communicate a few times, which she wouldn't have to have done if she'd been communicating with other predators already.
No, that's not what she does. She says that she is somehow speaking every single language at the same time, which is impossible. Obviously, the out-of-universe justification for this is to have a character speak English so the movie isn't entirely in subtitles for the audience. But it makes no in-universe sense, because speaking every language ever conceived simultaneously is something completely outside of the realm of possibility.
Oh my God, what is this critique? What is outside of the realm of possibilities? Sir, we're talking about monsters hunting people on planets that don't exist, androids that exist with half of their body cut off, and speaking languages that's not real. Why are you talking about outside of the realm of possibility? What are we talking about? All movies have a suspension of disbelief in a sense. Appreciate you, Nugget Master. Yeah, I was watching Destiny's debate at the beginning.
At that point, it's magic, because there's no way you can explain how that's possible.
You seem to want to criticize the movie because that's not a debunk of what I said. She's using a universal translator. Dumbass Flex thinks saying universal translators are impossible is some kind of landmark critique. Besides the fact that we literally have a rudimentary form of this technology in reality today.
Oh yeah, we do have earbuds that's supposed to earbuds, and our phones could do it, and now we got earbuds that could do it now. I'm definitely gonna probably get those at some point in my life. Yo, my daughter learning Spanish, so I'm gonna need to be able to understand stuff.
Universal translators are nearly omnipresent in science fiction that deals with aliens. Commander Shepard uses a universal translator to speak to the Turians, Quarians, and the Asari, all at the same time. But because Disney
Totally forgot about that.
made this
And I love Mass Effect.
Chuds and incels gotta pretend this is the time we need a deep explanation for how universal translators work. Give me a break and shut your bitch ass up.
Also, what are the chances that they'd land right in the very location where she just so happens to be and not just immediately kill her? Matter of fact, what are the odds that Lumpy would just so happen to run into her as well when he could have landed literally anywhere on the whole planet? This was all very lucky, wasn't it?
What is this weird CinemaSins-like question, Will? If your aunt had a dick, she'd be your uncle. Why are we playing the convenience game when literally every single thing to ever happen was convenient for this specific reality to exist? This is not real film criticism, and I need you people to understand this. You don't criticize a film for what didn't, could have, or what you wanted to happen. You criticize a film for what did happen.
So now Birdbrain is pretending to not know what plot conveniences are.
Holy hell, I had to run that back about 100 times to understand that this flannel mouth motherfucker just said plot conveniences.
Flannel mouth?
Jesus.
Wait.
It shouldn't be this difficult to articulate.
Wait. First of all, flannel mouth is crazy. I've never heard that a day in my life. And he said he don't understand what he said. What?
Could have, or what you wanted to happen. You criticize a film for what did happen.
So now Birdbrain is pretending to not know what plot conveniences are.
Holy hell, I had to run.
Okay, I heard him. say plot conveniences, but I could see why if you just like kind of just passively listening, like if you just hear it, you're like, what the fuck he just say? But I heard plot conveniences, but I see why he felt like it was a mush mouth moment. But yeah, watch, bro. Flannel mouth is crazy. I've never heard that in my life.
Run that back about 100 times to understand that this flannel mouth motherfucker
He said pocket vengeance.
said plot conveniences. Jesus.
Not know what plot convenience is.
For what did happen.
So now Bird Brain is pretending to not know what plot conveniences are.
It is mush mouth as fuck. They said pocket pussy.
Holy hell, I had to run that back about 100 times to understand that this flannel mouth motherfucker just said plot conveniences. Jesus, it shouldn't be this difficult to articulate. But I guess when my dick is so often in your mouth, one does forget how to speak.
Jesus Christ.
Stories that are actually worth a damn utilize cause and effect. This means you can't just have something continuously be effect, because at that point you're not getting a story, but a bunch of random shit thrown at you that only succeeds in breaking your immersion, investment, and suspension of disbelief, because if everything happens by chance, then everything can be resolved by chance too.
It's so funny that this guy thinks he's saying something.
Diablo.
What he failed to point out was how this applies to what Drinker and I are talking about and how it's a criticism against what I said. My point was that there exists no movies where the things that happen are not convenient, and therefore convenience isn't a real criticism. Drinker's claim was that it was convenient for Deck to land exactly where Thea was. This didn't happen. Deck landed in a thick forest.
Yes, he didn't land where she was. He didn't.
Got attacked, left that forest, found a stream intended to his wounds. He then traveled to get to where Thea was. Remember, Deck was tracking the Calisk, and Quay's ship's autopilot sent him to the general area where the Calisk should be. Thea was where she was because she was also tracking the Calisk.
Which actually is going above and beyond to make that makes sense as to why they ran into each other versus like she's right there where he lands. It makes way more sense that that's why this happened this way.
Because of this, it was inevitable for them to run into each
That's actually
other.
putting in more effort to not make the plot convenient. Actually.
That's the cause and effect. Because both were tracking the same creature, they ran into each other. Once again, Drinker is wrong and Jack has not debunked anything I said. Movies aren't meant to be watched this way. If there is an egregious logical error, then sure, criticize away. But this nitpicky
Movie didn't do what I think it should have done
form of media discourse is something that needed to die 10 years ago.
Where do I even start here? Because what you're essentially saying is that if you don't enjoy something, then you can't enjoy anything else ever because all stories somehow have the same exact problems.
What? That's not the critique. What the fuck is... This is what I'm saying. Like, for Kino to have made this video, he is like purposefully misunderstanding it. Because how do you come to this? If bad faith was a thing, Jesus Christ.
I think I was a little generous with 12 IQ points earlier. I think we need to subtract one. No, you Pez dispenser. I'm not arguing movies have the same exact problems. What I'm saying is, movies are not meant to be nitpicked in the manner that people like The Critical Drinker, Mauler, and CinemaSins do. Because we are talking about fiction, there is always a point where the logic will break down, because fiction, especially science fiction, requires a suspension of disbelief. If you are
I never seen the depth. I know what suspension of disbelief is. Well, I thought it was suspension of belief. Suspension of disbelief? Suspension of... I thought it was suspension of belief. Am I tripping, y'all? Suspension of disbelief. I thought it was suspension of belief. Is the avoidance often described as will... Okay, I should have read it first. Spent all that time. Is the avoidance often described as willing of critical thinking and logic in understanding something that is unreal or impossible in reality, such as something in a work of speculative fiction, in order to believe it for the sake of enjoying its narrative. Historically, the concept originates from the Greco-Roman principles of theater, wherein the audience ignores the unreality of fiction to experience catharsis from actions experienced. Okay, so it is... So this is the opposite of suspension of belief. It's you willfully trying to not suspend your belief, and then you can't enjoy the piece of media, correct? Like, I just never heard it as a term, but suspension of disbelief is you purposefully trying to not engage with the unrealistic aspect of what you're watching. Okay, I was like, damn, I should have just read it first. But yeah, that's yeah. I guess it got a turn.
Willing to suspend your disbelief, then you will not enjoy any movie. Disbelief. Because fiction, especially science fiction, requires a suspension of disbelief. If you are unwilling to suspend your disbelief, then you will not enjoy any movie. Because
wait, he isn't. What the fuck am I? Y'all, is the term I thought, in short, imagine how we all love John. I thought it was suspension of belief. Is the term, because he's explaining what I thought was suspension of belief. Am I tripping? Is the term suspension of disbelief? I always swore it was. Yeah, Nugget, it's ridiculous. The critical drinker is like, it's just, he makes his content off hating everything. Both of those terms are real. So what is suspension of belief? This is gonna bother me. I'm seeing, okay, I see. No. Suspension of belief, I don't think is not a term, y'all. I'm so confused. I'm seeing suspension of disbelief as what this says. But then when I see okay, I'm gonna just show y'all. What does suspension of belief mean? When we suspend belief, that means we must first be aware of what we do or do not believe. We must be willing to accept that there may be another perspective equally valid and plausible. But I'm seeing most of it being suspension of disbelief. Okay, Tron, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's one of those things that people just say wrong, like I could care less, you know, one of those things. Or what's the other one? What's one of them other ones that people say wrong? Stewie did that shit on Family Guy one time. It was perfect. Fuck, what was it? Stewie's irregardless, you know, one of those things. Irregardless, that's one of those things people say. Okay, so Dex just sent me this. Suspension of belief. This element offers a systematic outline of ancient conceptions of uses of suspension of belief understood broadly while engaging with the contemporary philosophy. It discusses the notions. It discusses the notion of epoch, suspension of judgment, and other related terms like aporia, aphasia, paradox, hypothesis, agnosticism, and Socratic wisdom. It examines the academic and Pyrrhonian skeptics and some of their arguments and strategies for suspension. It also includes the use and conditions for suspension of belief in other philosophers like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and Stoics, Plotinus, Protagoras, and Democritus. The element is divided into 4 thematic sections. This seems totally removed from what I'm trying to figure out, sir. Okay. You're suspending your disbelief in the illogical to enjoy the media. Yes. So Tron said it's disbelief. Suspension of belief is probably Christian or something. Irregardless is, yeah, irregardless. Cool whip. Cool whip. But yeah, no, I was talking about the irregardless. So I guess it's just one of those things people probably say wrong. I thought it was suspension of belief. I see there's not really, I don't see a real suspension of belief. Let's get through this. I'm
Because
sorry, that
all
was
science
bothering
fiction
me.
movies have logical flaws. That's literally CinemaSins' slogan, that no movie is without sin. Those films you chose to ignore the flaws of is you subjectively ignoring them, otherwise known as suspending your disbelief. Since you have mischaracterized my position and will be attacking a straw man, there's no need to play you continuing to misattribute a position to me that I don't hold. Let's move on.
But can they hope to take down the most powerful killing machine in the universe so that he can finally confront his toxically masculine dad? Is quirky android lady hiding a secret from Lumpy? And what became of her sister Tessa, who also went missing during the expedition? The answer, of course...
Hey, Tron, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know everything like some niggas on the internet. That shit really threw me for a loop because I just don't know what I've always said in the past or what I've heard, so I had to make sure.
Of course, it's who the fuck cares?
About 95% of the audience that has purchased a ticket on Fandango.
So,
I saw who also went missing during the expedition. The answer, of course, is who the fuck cares?
About 95% of the audience that has purchased a ticket on Fandango.
So, not enough for it to avoid being a box office bomb?
What even is this, Jack? That was not a refutation of what I said. You don't seem to know what the word debunk means. Drinker asked, who cares? And I factually answered that question. You came off the bench to tell us what exactly?
He said you came off the bench.
That you believe the movie flopped? Okay, that's not a debunk of what I said, numbnuts. You're like the little kid that whines to play the video game with their older brothers, but when you actually got to hold the controller, they left that shit unplugged.
Y'all, I tried that so much. I have a cousin that I grew up with that's 6 years younger than me. And like we always spent the night over each other's house and play video games, especially, of course, once we got older. When I tried that, when he was too young, when I thought he was young enough to not understand his controller being disconnected, that shit didn't work for a long time. That shit did not work. That nigga used to get up and try to plug that controller in when I was playing the game by my damn self and knew that he could not help me whatsoever. That shit don't work for too long. It don't work. Even when you get kids them little toy controllers, the colorful controllers, my daughter never fucked with her toy controller. But when I played the motherfucking PlayStation, she was grabbing that controller from me trying to play the game. She wanted to play the game. Gave her the colorful joint that made its own noises. Here's your little controller. Play the game with me. She didn't care about that shit when she saw me playing. She didn't care. It don't work. That shit don't work. It might have worked in the 90s. That don't work no more. I did hype them up. You gotta gas them up, but that shit work maybe like for 10 minutes, and then it gets a point where they realize that they're not playing. they're gonna look at your controller and see it's connected to something, and they're gonna look at theirs and it's not, and they're gonna be like, yeah, nah, stop playing with me, bro. Then they're gonna get up and try to plug that shit in. That shit do not work.
Like I said earlier, your ability to enjoy Predator Badlands is...
See, try to say, I tried that with my grandson when he was like 2, and the nigga figured out early because the Xbox controller light wasn't on and didn't work. See, you only gonna get away with it for about like 10 minutes, bro.
Going to depend on your perspective here. If you're somehow able to forget the whole Predator thing and just see this film as a generic sci-fi adventure movie with light-hearted comedy undertones that's clearly been geared towards a younger audience, then there's probably some enjoyment to be had here.
This sounds like someone who has made up their mind before the movie ever came out. Something you would never do, I'm sure.
I'm just going to
stop.
play a clip from that video since you clearly didn't watch it.
The one point of light at the end of the tunnel here is Dan Trachtenberg, who's pulling writing and directing duties this time around after his work on Prey. That movie might not have been perfect, but it was a decent stab at doing something slightly different with the Predator franchise, and although I think people cut it way more slack than it probably deserved, it was still miles better than the loose collection of lazy callbacks and cheap nostalgia bait that we got in Alien Romulus. The reason I bring all this up is that Prey also suffered from a pretty underwhelming trailer that people were quick to dismiss as a typical Disney girl boss sludge fest, only for the movie itself to turn out way better than expected, so I don't want to write Badlands off completely here. It could still turn out to be a decent addition to the franchise.
That doesn't sound like someone unwilling.
Notice the brief cut while Drinker is talking. Yeah, so did I.
To give a film a chance to me.
And now I'm going to play a clip from that very same video, since you seem to have left something out.
So I don't want to write Badlands off completely here. It could still turn out to be a decent addition to the franchise, but man, I think it's about time we accepted that we're never going to recapture the magic of the 1987 original, and anything we get now is just a pale imitation of stuff that's already been done far better. But trust me, as long as there's anything remotely left to be milked out of this franchise, Disney will find a way to make it happen.
Sounds like Drinker did make up his mind before the film came out, and you cut out the part that invalidates the clip you tried to play. Only you didn't realize I would make a response to this video and expose you for being the lying little bitch that you are.
Surprise, motherfucker.
See, you're doing the same thing you did with Prey.
Fam, see what I'm saying? Kino had to be dishonest to make this video. He had to. He had no choice. He had no choice. I think it's part of the gimmick, Tron. I think the gimmick is like to sound drunk but not actually be drunk. I think that's part of his character.
You incessantly bitched about that movie before it released because there was a female protagonist. But when the film dropped, you had no choice but to begrudgingly admit you were bullshitting.
Because when he does like podcasts, he don't sound like that.
I mean, this was your take days before your actual review dropped.
So before the review dropped, Critical Drinker said, so Prey was not great, definitely not as bad as the trailer suggests, but over long and slow, predictable and with cheesy dialogue, heavy-handed, pandering to female empowerment, not great acting and weird attempts to reference to other movies, better than The Predator at least. That's what he said before he saw Prey.
You're very clearly lying to everyone, only to release your video days later with this title.
What is?
Wait, what? He's not Irish. He's
everyone
English, right?
Only to release.
I don't think he's Irish. So his title of his video afterwards was "No Masterpiece, but Surprisingly Good." Yeah. This is not the first time. Like Critical Drinker changes his titles depending. He changes the title of his videos depending on what the audience reception is. He'll have a bad title. He'll make a title that makes the movie sound bad, and then if it comes out and is good, he'll go back and change the title.
Your video days later with this title.
What is the difference between his tweet and his video? If you watch his video, his sentiments don't change significantly whatsoever.
Joking aside, Prey is definitely not a bad movie. In fact, I'm pleased to say it's way better than I predicted after watching the trailer, so color me wrong on that one, I guess.
Scottish, thank you, yeah. I knew he wasn't Irish, but the Irish accent and Scottish accent, you gotta kind of hear them right by. It's funny enough, when we was covering Destiny, there was an Irishman on it. Now we're getting a Scottish man on it. Yeah, they're close, but they're very distinct. Honestly, they are distinct. Yes, he's Scottish.
Some good ideas, a refreshingly stripped down and streamlined plot, an interesting new setting, and some fantastically gory action scenes. But it's also hamstrung by poor characterization.
It is funny, Dex. Honestly, if you think about the Irish guy we heard in the Destiny panel, you'll hear the difference.
Weak as fuck dialogue, and a main character that doesn't quite manage to break away from the tropes of modern writing.
So, this airheaded manlet plays the video of Drinker expressing the opinion I said he expressed. I very clearly made the point that the tweet was made before Drinker gauged the temperature of the audience, and he then adjusted his language to pander to the audience after he realized everyone liked Prey. Playing the footage of him doing what I said he did doesn't refute my argument, it strengthens it. The tweet is a negative review of the film, and the video is positive, dumbass. Overlong, slow, predictable, cheesy dialogue, heavy-handed pandering to female empowerment, and weird attempts to reference other movies is not surprisingly good, because none of those things are what surprisingly good means. Why do I have to hold your hand through this, Jack? Drinker is a grifter. He's trying to tell the audience what he thinks they want to hear. Hilariously, it works on you, proving that the audience of grifters are very, very low IQ. Just like with Prey, the audience likes this thing, including those in your own audience.
I thought these guys were neo-Nazis who were wrong about everything.
Well, that's probably because you were dropped on your head so much you can iron an old man's slacks across your forehead. Stop attributing false quotes to me, Dick Cheese. Nowhere did I say they were wrong about everything. You don't have to lie to make a point. I mean, you do, but you know what I mean. What's being communicated here is Predator Badlands is considered a good film by the consensus, a consensus that members of Drinker's audience belong to, so he includes the perspective talking point in his video to appease these people. Try to keep up, short stack. A good...
I love Birdman's content, but I can't fuck with the fucker. Like, I get it's an easy dunk. It's just so making fun of niggas' height is just, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. The height, like, I don't even mind the ugly jokes, like saying he's like, looks like a baby and shit like that. Ugly jokes is cool. I just don't like height jokes, man. I don't know. I just don't like it.
Good film is a good film.
Not really.
We do not care what you think about this film. Please continue this.
I'm 6 feet, so it's not just because I'm short. I'm 6 feet. I just don't like height jokes.
Weak attempt at a debunk video. If you don't like
5'9" is average for a man. I think the average height for a man is 5'10".
say that and accept that others have a different opinion than you.
That's literally what he's been doing all throughout the video, but every time he does, you bring up the Rotten Tomatoes score that means jack shit, and the film's box office that also means jack shit, because it didn't amount to anything, as we've already discussed.
You haven't discussed anything because you don't even realize the numbers you used are made up. The fact remains that the film has received excellent word of
Talking about
mouth,
South Korea.
made more money than its reported budget, and is doing well on streaming platforms. By every objective, verifiable measure, the film is a success. That's why it's getting a sequel. And no,
Oh shit, it's getting a sequel? I didn't even know
film
that.
is a success.
Well, I'm not surprised, but I didn't know.
That
Predator Badlands director Dan Trachtenberg teases villain in the sequel. Oh, well, yeah, they teased the sequel in the movie. That doesn't mean it was necessarily gonna get it, you know, because shit, I remember, I'll never forgive them canceling My Wife and Kids with the cliffhanger on that. That had a cliffhanger. Shit. Y'all, My Wife and Kids is top 3 shows in my life, and we got a cliffhanger, and then the show fucking ended. Oh my God, I hate it. I think Girlfriends did the same thing too, if I'm not mistaken.
That's why it's getting a sequel. And
Dex, don't come in here with them red pill talking points. 5'10" is fine for most women. Stop.
no, Drinker did not accept that others had a different opinion than him.
Oh yeah, I know Netherlands is I think their average height for men and women is super high. Wait, Watts, you don't know about the cliffhanger of My Wife and Kids? Did you watch the show? Do you not remember the cliffhanger of My Wife and Kids?
He literally got angry at the critics on Rotten Tomatoes for having this film ranked higher than the first Predator, you ancient anal
Or are you talking about Badlands?
shit nugget. Damn, dude, how are you getting...
Wait.
That's why it's getting a sequel. And no, Drinker did not accept that others had a different opinion than him.
The cliffhanger was Jay was pregnant. Jay got pregnant at the end of My Wife and Kids, man. Try. Now he got a young joke off. Yes, the cliffhanger, Jay got pregnant in My Wife and Kids, and the show fucking ended.
He literally got angry at the critics on Rotten Tomatoes for having this film ranked higher than the first Predator, you ancient anal shit nugget. Damn, dude, how are you getting everything wrong? Statistically, you should have accidentally proven me wrong by now.
You mean the same audience that you previously showed to have liked the film? He's a grifter if he tells his audience what they want to hear, but he's also a grifter if he tells his audience what they don't want to hear.
It should be impossible to be this dumb. Dude,
wait.
proven me wrong by now. How are you getting...
Yes, remember they went, I think Jay, I don't remember what happened, but they ended up at the doctor and they told Jay she was pregnant, and that was the last episode of the freaking show.
everything wrong? Statistically, you should have...
My stream froze? What the hell? Did you, I said it a few times, so I'm sure you heard it by now.
accidentally proven me wrong by now.
You mean the same audience that you previously showed to have liked the film? He's a grifter if he tells his audience what they want to hear, but he's also a grifter if he tells his audience what they don't want to hear.
It should be impossible to be this dumb. Dude, this is what happens when you cut up someone's video to interject with nonsense. You forget what they're talking about. I'd been making the point that Drinker's closing remarks on the film was him attempting to soften his language and play to the crowd, because like Prey, the crowd likes Badlands. So even though he spent a lot of the time lying about the film and completely misunderstanding aspects about it, he ends on a positive note because he doesn't want another Thunderbolt situation.
Yep. What's this about? Critical Drinker is... Oh, he Googled Critical Drinker based on early 2025 reactions surrounding the Marvel movie Thunderbolts released in May 2025. The Critical Drinker received significant pushback, often described as being ratioed or heavily criticized in the comments for his negative review of the film. And Birdman highlighted audience disagreement. Many viewers, including some of his own audience, disagree with his assessment, finding his review to be rage bait or inaccurate regarding the film's quality. Interesting.
Maybe shut your mouth and open your ears, you fucking dwarf.
Franklin was cool,
And video
man.
by
Franklin was cool.
Video, I'm waking people up to your shenanigans, Will. It's only a matter of time before you're as irrelevant as CinemaSins. Yeah, I did that too.
If CinemaSins can be considered irrelevant, why can't the same be said for you since you make less views than they do?
You are
Oh, God. Thunderbolts was not trash. Stop.
cosmically dumb. Like, Galactus came down, used the power cosmic, and turned you into the wood surfer, which is apropos, because all you do is ride my dick all day. You...
Nigga, you gay.
You gotta relax, bro. Oh my gosh.
Come to the exact wrong conclusion 100% of the time. CinemaSins used to have videos in the millions of views for literally all of their videos. I come along and now a 9 million subscriber channel has videos with 50,000 views.
To be fair, I don't know if Birdman is attributed. I don't know if we could fully attribute that to Birdman, but from personal experience, I can say that he did win me over. My personal experience. I don't know if I can say that about the masses. I don't know if people just forgot about CinemaSins, or they got exposed to Birdman and decided to stop watching, or they came to them conclusions on their own. Now, if CinemaSins on their own if they used to get millions of views, if it was easy for them to get millions of views, and now all of a sudden they can't crack 100,000 easily. I don't know. I haven't looked on there in a while. Birdman does go back and debunk a lot of their bullshit on CinemaSins. Personally, he did ruin CinemaSins for me because I was watching CinemaSins before I saw Birdman's channel. And when I saw him be easily able to debunk CinemaSins sins, I did kind of stop watching him. I don't know if a lot of people feel that way. Or maybe people got attuned to other content and just stopped watching CinemaSins. It seems like there's this thing where a lot of like channels that have been around for a super long time are getting way less views today. That seems like it's a thing I've kind of noticed, that big channels from 6 years and older, they views aren't what they used to be. And I don't know if it's just because other people are starting to flood the algorithm and that they can't keep the audience in the same way, maybe, possibly. So I don't know what the reason is.
That's what I'm saying, Sherlock, that I've put a dent in their popularity, because of course I did. And as for my views, put a dent in their popularity because of.
Oh, we got people reacting to his everything wrong with CinemaSins stuff.
Of course I did. And as for my views, CinemaSins and I have very comparable view counts these days.
He said they views are comparable these days. 1 month ago, 1 month ago, 1 month ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago. Oh, that says a lot though, because if Birdman is getting a 4-month video at 100K and their 1 month video is getting 192K, but CinemaSins has millions of subs, and I think he only has hundreds of thousands or 200, maybe 30. I don't know.
I'm 28 times smaller than they are. So these weird shots you keep attempting to take at my channel aren't working, kiddo. You should worry about your own channel and the fact that if you aren't talking about me, no one.
See, he only does this when people talk shit about him. He doesn't really I think it's being honest when he clearly states how, say me, I only got 7K subs. If a channel with only 2,000 subs talk shit about me, I wouldn't talk about their view counts and whatever that is unless they try to diminish my growth on YouTube. If you talk about my growth, then I'm gonna shit on your growth. But I'm not just gonna talk about your growth because you're smaller than me for the sake of it, just to try to dunk on you. But he tried to say that Birdman was irrelevant because CinemaSins is irrelevant, but now Birdman is kind of showing that my views are equivalent to them while having a way smaller audience. So Birdman kind of has room to say that.
Cares about you. Like in real life.
Honestly,
oh, God.
Go watch the original Predator, then skip straight
this
to
video is an hour, bro.
Thing and just think about what you've witnessed. The difference in tone, style, and intent is more jarring than taking an F1 car to 200 miles per hour and throwing it into reverse.
That's probably because there has been nearly 40 years of filmmaking that has happened between the two films, Will. We've learned that audiences expect a whole lot more than the simplistic concepts that worked on our parents, and more importantly, that the macho action hero schlock of the 80s belongs in the 80s.
It's just an hour.
According to who? Who is saying that action films can no longer be played straight and require comedy all throughout as if it were an MCU movie?
The box office. The movie studios that aren't making those types of films with any regularity anymore.
Where have all the blue-collar action heroes gone? Die Hard. The 3 reasons why original action movies are dead. '96 was the year the macho '80s action hero died.
The audience that, when those films do come out, don't go see them.
6 million worldwide. Damn.
The Running Man. After
Wait, what did it make?
that, when those films do come out, don't go see them. The Running Man.
68 million worldwide. That's not bad. No, Superman made $600 million in just America, I believe, right? Or is that worldwide? Yeah, that's not a lot of money.
Afterburn.
1 million.
Tin Soldier.
89,000. Jesus Christ.
The Fall Guy.
181,000. I mean, million.
Ruthless.
$33,000 worldwide. Oh my God.
Should I go on or
29 million. Jesus Christ. These movies aren't, I'm guessing these, I don't know. I've never heard of any of these movies, but I'm guessing these movies fall into the super macho action shoot 'em up movies, and they're not making no money.
are we good to go?
There is still a place for mid-budget or even high-budget action movies that take themselves seriously that audiences will show up to. Look at the Avatar franchise, for instance. Don't get me wrong, they have their own separate issues, but they are undeniably an example you can point to of audiences wanting action movies that take themselves seriously without comedy weighing it down at the very least.
What? We're talking about Predator, and he brings up Avatar. I'll look it up right now in a second. Corey, I was gonna say Bullet Train. Why would he compare Avatar to action movies not centered around comedy? That is not a one-to-one comparison. What the hell is that? Bro, what?
There is no way you just attempted to compare the schlocky 80s action film to Avatar. Your stupidity is transcendent. Your ability to completely misunderstand what someone has said needs to be studied, and you have the gall to call anyone else a bird brain. This would be funny if it weren't sad. Otherwise, you're asking for another generic Predator film.
Bullet Train made 239 million, which isn't terrible, but it's not keeping up with the action movies with comedy. It's not in that realm, but 239. Of course, it made profit. Clearly, the budget was 85. The budget was 90 million at most. 239 it made back. It made profit, but it's not keeping up with the comedy action.
And that's how we got The Predator.
The core complaint of The Predator wasn't that it was a generic action movie. It was that it didn't feel like an action movie at all by suffering from the same problems Predator Badlands had, but worse by relying on comedy and not staying true to the action genre.
According to who? Where are you getting the core complaint from, Jack? Who are you quoting here? Are you giving me your take on this film?
Right.
Well, we've already established that we don't give a fuck what you think. You'd already made up your mind to dislike this film 6 months ago, so why did you even go see it? Oh, because shitting on things makes you a lot of money?
Yep, keep
well,
in mind.
Then, you're not really...
Y'all, I'm telling y'all, this is so intentional by Critical Drinker. If he wants to shit on a movie, he puts it on his main channel. And even if he kind of tries to not shit on a movie where he's kind of tempering his language, is like, I kind of like this, he'll still put on his main channel, but only if it's white people. Because he put Sinners on his secondary channel with not nowhere near the same amount of subs and engagement that he get as his main channel, and he just purely praised it. Why did you do that for one of the best movies of 2025? Right? Yeah. One of the best movies of 2025, you didn't put on your main channel and you purely praised it. And it's funny enough that it's a black movie and you like it. You like it. I don't know how you truly feels, because I think if he would have went against Sinners, he probably would have got canceled. So why wouldn't you put you praising such a good movie, if you're a movie critic, on your main channel where you could tell everybody, like, hey, go see this really good movie that's out that you may not be interested in until I tell you it's a good movie? Why didn't you put that on your main channel? That's like me putting Flat Earth or Stevie Knight on my gaming channel or some shit. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? It don't make no sense. I mean, yes, that's not a good comparison because the channel is different type of content. But the point is, you don't put he didn't put the black film that he liked on his main channel for the core of his audience to see. He put on his secondary channel where way less people watch it on there. But I think he put a Naked Gun. I think he put Naked Gun on his main channel, but it's funny enough that it's a movie with a white cast, with a white lead. I think he liked it, and you put that on your main channel, but not Sinners.
A movie reviewer, and you should probably stop pretending you are one. There's no need at this point.
That's true, PTJ. John Wick is a straight up action movie, no comment, not centered on comedy that people love. That's very true. I think because they did something different, especially with the filming, the way they filmed John Wick is different too. That's what got me for John Wick, was the way it was filmed, and Keanu does his own stunts, and the you know what I'm saying.
Just a right-wing mouthpiece
Oh, it was bad. I thought most people. I thought the review said a lot of people like Naked Gun.
that hates everything that's not like you.
Calm down, Bird Brain. You sound as though you're about to cry.
Amazing rebuttal. You really showed me there.
Nobody is saying that any new entry to a franchise can take creative liberties. We're simply saying that it needs to be grounded into the spirit of the franchise and what the original set out to do. This idea that fans of a franchise have to automatically support any soulless product due to its name, despite not resembling it at all, is a mentality everyone is sick of and tired of tolerating.
As I told the drinker, nobody is forcing you to consume the media property. You don't have to tolerate anything. You can simply check out, and literally no one would care. But you see, it's the no one caring part that bothers you people. Yep. So you have to invade fan spaces where people are having a good time and loudly proclaim that you're mad about a thing that you don't have to see. Because like a child that just took a shit in his coveralls, you need
perfect picture of how these people behave. Perfect.
Everyone else to know exactly how upset you are. And some of you, not you, get paid handsomely for doing that.
Wait, what?
How upset you are. And some of you, not you,
oh, because he don't get the views?
Get paid handsomely for doing that.
That was funny. That man went from 1,500,000 views to showing Kino with 400 views. Again, this isn't to shit on small creators. I was there, and I'm still there. I'm still a small creator, but it's just funny. That was just funny. That was funny. I'm sorry.
So there is an incentive to being an annoying bitch with constant shit takes.
I can't take any of Badlands seriously because the film itself treats every fight and plot event as a joke.
Once again, Drinker is lying to you. The majority of the film's comedic aspect comes from Thea, the android, and the majority of that is front-loaded in her introduction, which is a film technique meant to contrast her against the extremely serious and violent young Yautja. The beginning of this film, which is roughly the first 22 minutes, shows Deck nearly being killed by his brother in a duel, his father trying to force his brother to kill him, and his brother refusing to do so and getting dismembered and beheaded for his defiance.
This was a really good movie, y'all. Prey and Predator and Badlands was good. Like, I had introduced them to my wife, and she loved both of them. Like, we watched Prey, and I was like, "You want to see this movie?" She was like, "Yeah." We love both of these movies. Like, as people that's never watched Predator, both of us, and we like, this is just good movies.
Then Deck crash lands on a planet where literally everything is trying to kill him, even the grass. None of this is played for comedy, and it's almost non-stop Predator action up until the android appears.
Yeah, the comedy in the movie does not outweigh the seriousness and the action. It doesn't outweigh it. There's comedy, yes, but it doesn't outweigh it.
Is your rebuttals
like I barely remember the comedic aspects of it.
Seriously that the comedy doesn't begin until 20 minutes into the movie?
No, you living pile of vomit.
Said.
The rebuttal is that the entire film is not comedic, that the comedy that does exist is front-loaded, and that the comedy does not overpower the film, which is what the drinker is claiming. I mean, you literally heard me say all of that and are somehow still coming to the wrong conclusion. This is unreal.
So that should excuse her constantly delivering quips for the rest of its runtime?
Citation needed. This is a thing that did not happen. You are lying. Here's Thea being serious at the 30-minute, 38-second mark.
I was just wrong about who. But Tessa and I are special. We have a higher
Corval, what the hell type of question is that, sir?
sensitivity than the others. The sensitivity is what allows us to understand the creatures on this planet. And then the Kalisk attacked us.
The 54-minute, 11-second mark.
Jack, there's something I have to tell you. You need to leave.
No, you can stay.
I called Tessa. The company is on its way. You can't be here when they arrive.
I still want to know how these motherfuckers get these clear ass pictures of these films in their videos. I need to understand that because the moment I tried to do it, the shit didn't work. I couldn't do it.
You can't kill it.
And the 1 hour, 20 minute, 43 second mark.
What are you doing here? You came back for me? What exactly are you wearing?
This movie was fire, bro.
A lot of quipping going on, huh? The animal
You already know,
sidekick Drinker
Nugget.
is talking about is one of the most ruthless and dangerous creatures in the film.
Bird brain.
I have an RTX. I can't film. I can't get these good quality fucking videos from movies.
You are a child in a grown man's body.
And you are a grown man in a child's body.
That was a perfect setup. There's no way. There's no. Well, no, PTJ is not about the quality. I'm sorry. I am saying the quality, but that's not the point. What I'm saying is I haven't found a way to get films recorded on my computer. When I try to stream it, they block that shit to screen record. I just haven't found a workaround.
About is one of the most ruthless and dangerous creatures in the film.
Bird brain.
That was
you
a layup.
are a child in a grown man's body.
And you are a grown man in a child's body.
Fam,
but that wasn't a rebuttal.
That was just so perfect. There's no way. There's no fucking. I ain't got a laptop. I got a PC, bro. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Well, Jack, remember, you're supposed to be
And they be having this shit before the movies come out. Keep in mind, Birdman and them, they be having this shit before the movie is on streaming anyway. I don't know how they get that.
debunking me. If you're looking for that macho bullshit Drinker is
I have a
talking about
built
from the
PC,
first movie, yeah, this movie has that.
Then why did you say that it was unreasonable to expect the franchise to remain macho and that it should stay in the 80s?
Because, and try to keep up here because I'm about to explain advanced placement calculus, that's not what I actually said. I specifically stated that those were the current audience's expectations, that the reason films have changed over the past 40 years was due to the changing attitudes of the audience. Me stating Deck behaves in a way that Drinker should like has no bearing on my previous statement, because on one hand I'm describing the audience sentiment, and in the other, an objective fact.
Also, I just want to point out that more action does not make it more meaningful
Nah,
or
PTJ, my man is he do this shit. Like I got my PC built, like he got me like I can't say what he got me on here, but I have stuff that I ain't supposed to have on my computer. These movie film guys be getting 4K footage of movies before they're streamed or on DVD or Blu-ray. And when they do the reviews and shit, they be having the whole movie before they out, and I guess they have access to the shit.
Impactful.
Again, I don't care about your subjective value judgments. That's your opinion. Others can argue differently. There's no winner here. Besides, you're a low IQ alt-right incel that has a personal vendetta against anything you perceive to be left-wing.
This is crazy. This man is on the internet. He got his full name. He got his school. Birdman a little petty for this. It's a little petty because, granted, he found him on the internet. I don't think he trying to say what school he go to and shit. I think this is a little petty. I think this is hella petty. It's not a little petty. This is petty. Even if Birdman has his info, I don't think he should have did this. I think posting pictures of him and shit is enough. Posting pictures of him is cool. But he got his school, so now people probably know the state he's in. I think that's a little bit too far. I don't think he should have posted this.
You are not a reliable source. That's why every single non-grifting movie critic is telling you.
Just cause Birdman knows how big his audience is, I don't think he should do that.
This is a good movie.
Yeah, the movie was good. And that would be a good time. No alcohol required.
I just had a great time with it.
Hell, even grifters are
Yes, the
telling you
movie
this
fun.
is a good movie.
I enjoyed myself. I'm a happy Predator franchise fan.
Corval.
Okay, and who cares? They're all wrong.
Regardless of your
Wrong? That's not, you can't say, you cannot be sitting here talking about people's opinions on films and then say that people have a different opinion than you are wrong. That is not the word you're looking for.
opinion on their opinion, the point being made here is that a wide variety of people have enjoyed the film. Importantly, those that aren't trying to appeal to those with a political agenda, meaning you can trust their take. You saying they're
He
all
said
wrong
he said with the exception of Tyrone.
is an endorsement of the film, actually,
Right, Dex.
being that you are a living billboard for what not to do in any given situation.
PTJ just snapped. Predator: The White House is dropping later this year.
And don't even get me started on Lumpy's creature design. Like, how the fuck does a movie from 1987 look better than a $100 million Disney project with cutting-edge special effects? How have we gone so far backwards?
As you can see, Deck's father appears more or less similar to the original film's antagonist and is far more detailed than that character.
That's a lot of words to just say that he looks retarded on purpose. Every single time Drinker has brought up this criticism, none of the four people responding to him actually engage with what he's saying. Drinker's criticism relates to the technical aspects of the film, not the narrative aspects. You don't have to settle for a less impressive looking character when a cooler version of them has shown up before. It's just a lazy creative decision.
You're once again giving us a subjective value judgment, not an objective debunk of my talking point. If you don't like something, so what? Who are you? Why should we care what you think? You're just some guy. And Drinker's point has been addressed. I very clearly debunked the idea that filmmakers can't make a creature design on par with what we got in the 80s. They can because they did. The protagonist's visual aesthetic was done on purpose. That's not a narrative explanation, it's a technical one. Since we know they have the ability, thereby debunking Drinker's claim, we know Deck's design was what the costume designers were shooting for.
Then there's just the stuff that's straight up irritating, the biggest of which is by far quirky android lady.
You didn't think we'd make it out of a Drinker video without some anti-woman rhetoric, did you? Silly rabbit. Also, I thought robots didn't have genders, Will. See how quickly he abandoned that as soon as it became convenient to do so?
As I said before, that tweet was clearly a joke and not something he seriously believes.
And you were wrong about that and have literally zero evidence to the contrary, so you might want to abandon this talking point.
Why on earth would you program a synth for a high priority mission like this to act like some ditzy bimbo with Tourette's?
The movie answers that question too.
So we could understand the creatures on this planet and exploit them.
God damn, did you watch the movie or not?
Apparently you didn't because she tells jokes because she wants to.
What?
She told jokes because she wanted to? Ignoring that I explicitly provided evidence from the film that backs up my claim, what evidence do you have that she told jokes because she wanted to, opposed to using her heightened empathy to manipulate Deck into getting what she really wanted, which was her legs? You have anything to back up that claim you just made, dipshit? Nothing? Yeah, I thought not.
With all the tropes and cliches you expect from a Disney movie, an emotionally vulnerable hero on a quest to take down a monster, a sinister family member working against them, a quirky sidekick for comedy banter, a cute little animal friend for merchandising purposes, and a sequel bait ending to...
It's funny because I highly doubt there's any merchandise as far as, especially the cute little animal, in that from this film. I haven't seen any Predator Badlands toys or stuffies or anything like that. Like, Deck isn't cute. The little fucking the baby Callus thing is cute, I guess, but not enough to get a stuffed animal.
Help set up an extended cinematic universe.
He thinks he's...
Oh yeah, Dex, it's all just because it's Disney. If Disney didn't make this, they wouldn't be doing all this.
He's describing Disney's structure when the only reason he thinks that is because
yeah, there'll be a pop, but there'll be a pop. Everything is a pop, but not no fucking toy or stuffed animal.
Disney movies are adventure stories and thus follow that same structure. I mean, hell, he's roughly describing the first Star Wars movie.
What doesn't
an
have a pop?
emotionally vulnerable hero on a quest to take down a monster, a sinister family member working against him, a quirky sidekick for comedy banter, and a cute little animal friend for merchandising purposes.
You're reaching incredibly hard with some of your examples since Vader wasn't revealed to be Luke's father until the second movie, but the fact remains that this was always the appeal of Star Wars from day one. Whereas this objectively wasn't the case for the Predator franchise until Badlands came along.
Nothing of what you just said matters. I am correct. We are not talking about Star Wars in 1977. We are talking about Star Wars in 2026. And in 2026, we all know Vader was Luke's father. It's these dumb, pedantic distinctions you attempt to make that makes you believe you're debunking me, and you're not. You're just yapping. I am describing a structure, one that Star Wars and Badlands share. It's something literally everyone who watched my video understood intuitively. But your dumbass thinks I'm saying these things are exactly the same. I literally called R2-D2 a cute little animal friend, for fuck's sake, you simpleton.
yeah.
I am comparing them. What you did is contrasting them.
The realization...
Yeah, exactly, Dex, and that's what he just said. It's like, that was the second time he did that, just like when he made the comparison of when he was saying how that movie told the perspective of the killer of the slasher. He's trying to act like he means these things are literally one-to-one the same. No, he's talking about a formula. He's talking about a concept. He's talking about an idea that is similar. Yes, we never really get the story of a slasher, and we're getting the perspective of the slasher versus with the movie of whatever the name of that killer movie was, and Predator, Badlands. And he called, like he said, he called R2-D2 a cute animal friend. And obviously R2-D2 is not an animal or cute, or wait, I don't know if he said animal, a cute little sidekick or whatever they called him. And it's like, yeah, obviously a robot versus an animal is not the same, but the point remained, the concept is the same. You fucking, and that's what I'm saying. Kino is intentionally misconstruing this video to make it. That's all.
And that just like Alien, this is what the Predator franchise has devolved into. A financial commodity instead of a sharp and violent artistic endeavor, reshaped and remolded into a safe, inoffensive, focus-tested corporate product, ready to be churned out by the truckload until it becomes financially unviable.
Cool. Did you just imply the first Predator was a sharp and violent artistic endeavor? Hey, what do we think of that claim, Jungle Hunter? If the reviews from the 80s didn't clue you in, the first Predator, which I personally liked, was seen as a generic ripoff of Rambo and Arnold's own Commando up until the Yautja appeared. And then it was seen as a ripoff of Alien, but done worse.
Okay, so ultimately all he ended up saying was that you need to acknowledge Predator as a bad movie because shitty critics from back then never gave it a chance and dismissed it because they were pretentious snobs. But the point is that critics as a whole have largely just been a group of clueless idiots who aren't consistent and don't know what they're talking about when discussing quality.
Right, so you're mad that people don't think the way that you do, so you insult them and say they were wrong. Once again, your opinion is irrelevant. Let's move it along.
Well, based on the opening weekend projections, that eventuality might come sooner than expected.
You mean the projections that were completely wrong? Yeah, you might want to stop talking about the box office, critical.
79 million. Well, now that it actually made less than, but like we just looked up Bullet Train. It made less than Bullet Train. Hey, do Street Fighter come out in April, or am I misremembering? Don't Street Fighter come out in April? If somebody remembers.
Drinker, you're like 6 for 24, Kobe. You might.
But it really do depend on how much they spend on the movie too. That matters.
Want to pass the ball to.
Because it made. What's the budget? Oh, the budget's not here? I'm looking
Ron
at the budget.
Artest.
I don't see why he should when his prediction turned out to be correct, while your prediction turned out to be the one completely wrong.
I'm not sure how my prediction was completely wrong. You know, considering I never made a prediction. Unlike you idiots, I don't care what a movie makes. The box office proceeds are completely irrelevant to me because I'm not a stockholder and I don't get paid if they are successful. My concern is with the quality of a film. And I do enjoy him capping off this dumbass video with the wrong numbers for the third time. Anyway, as you all can see, Jack Kentner is one of the worst to ever do it. And that's why he is where he is in life. Just a loser seeking attention from anyone that'll give it. I do hope my audience is satisfied because that's the last time he'll...
So the budget was $105 million for Predator Badlands and it made $185 million. But, you know, these guys like to say, oh, marketing, and then they just set it as a number as 2.5 when there's no confirmation that that's actually a thing. Because even like James Gunn said that for Superman, he said, if you think that we're going to start a whole new movie and we think we got to make 2.5 times the budget of it off a first installment of Superman starting over, then you're just not smart, because they wouldn't do that. It just wouldn't be smart to do that. So when they talk about this marketing, they have no idea what marketing is. They have no idea what these people make off of other deals they make with like merchandise and stuff like that, or whatever streaming deals they get, whatever they do and put in place to make profit. You can't just be like, oh, budget 2.5 times that, then the movie got to make more than that to make a profit. It just doesn't. It's because if they don't consider all the forms of revenue that they create, then you're not being honest with your assessment of if a movie is a flop or not.
Will ever appear on this channel, and after this headache-inducing experience, I'm sure you all can understand why. If it's not the nasally, whiny voice,
yes, Neth, you need to watch Badlands. It's really good.
It's got to be just how stupid the guy is. He can't get basic shit right, and he's smug about it too. An arrogant moron. Hell of a combination.
This picture is crazy. This picture's crazy. An hour video. I'm super curious. Let's see if Kino has made a post or video. Let's see. Let's see if Kino made a post or video. Is Iron Lung Kino responding to the worst hit piece ever? Okay, this looks like it's unrelated. Addressing the honor room response to Utterly Noah plagiarism. Bro, Utterly Noah be on his shit. I know Kino can't handle him. Responding to the critical drink over Dark Rain Children. He ain't respond to Birdman yet. Let's see. I am officially accepting suggestions for new nickname for the Birdman since he was incredibly. This is Cope. This is fucking Cope. And I wish I had the sound on my soundboard, the coping and seething. I'm officially accepting suggestions for new nicknames for the Birdman since he was incredibly offended by me calling him Birdbrain. Feel free to post any you have in mind. I'll be including the ones I like in my next video, FYI. Guys, I'm officially a grifter according to Birdman now. This is honestly pathetic because he calls it offended. He says offended when clearly he just said it was childish. Why would he say that he's offended when it was clearly not creative and childish? Because like, honestly, he was better off just standing on Birdbrain. Just stand on it. Just stand on it. You don't be like, all right, he was offended, so let's call him something else. That means you're just saying that you're not confident in the fact that you was calling him that. Zane. It's like he's trying to dog whistle or. Yeah, he's trying to dog whistle to his audience like, oh, the progressive is offended. He never came off as offended. He said, this shit is childish. You couldn't think of nothing more creative than I'm calling myself Birdman and you're calling me Birdbrain. And he was better off standing on Birdbrain. Like, you was better off just sticking with Birdbrain because to say he was offended is pure cope. It is pure cope. The comment section is like some year 3 class actual toddler. They're not American. The bird with the paper thin skin, bird scrapper, Michael Beaton, the one who flew over the cuckoo's nest. Turd Man actually isn't the worst thing ever. Man Chicken, no. Squawker Man, keep calling him Birdbrain. See, exactly. You're a simping manlet. You're the worm Birdbrain eats for dinner. Who am I simping for? Yeah, like that. Look, they shitting on him, but you was better off sticking with Birdbrain because you just look like man, that shit was kind of childish. All right, y'all, help me come up with a new name since my name sucks. Like, that's what it looks like. You was just better. Look, see, stick with Birdbrain. Just because it's obvious and easy doesn't make it wrong. Like, I think I don't think it's cool. I don't think it's funny, but you was better off sticking with it. Oh, man. The irony being that I don't think he ever used the Uno reverse card on the nickname because birds are actually incredibly intelligent. Somebody in my comments said that, too. Have you seen Ravens? So he really could have turned the nickname into a badge if he was good at spinning things. How about Birdbland or Bird Blank? I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't know. I'm not even a fan of Birdman calling him Doxoflex. I think it's just to get out the fact that Kino was called out for doxing people.
Wagwan, motherfuckers. Today's
I'm sorry. Now, listen. If you want to make video, wait, is this
news story is very easy to get through, and it's very fun.
I think this is the same Carl that was on Whick's panel. I think this guy was on Whick's panel and he lost his fucking mind. This dude is weird. This dude is fucking weird. He was on Whick's panel and he lost his shit. Watch, you already know what I'm finna say. I'm gotta get this out the way. This dude was on Whick's panel and lost his shit. He made no sense. He made no point. Thank you, Dex. I'm getting to it, y'all. Hear me out. Hear me out before I get to this. I saw this. I was finna comment on it, but then I saw his name. He was on a Whick panel. He lost his shit over nothing, and he made no points. He came on there sounding stupid. He made a fool of himself. He made a fool of himself, and this might be his biggest showing on the internet. Maybe, I don't know. But that was I remember Carl. I see single player Carl. I remember hearing Carl. They was talking about video games. He got a video called "The Birdman Goes Batshit, Threatens Channel with Defamation Lawsuit." Now, to get to the elephant in the room, literally, I'm all for people doing with what they have. Make your content. If you want to be a content creator, don't wait for the most expensive shit. Don't wait for the best cameras. Don't wait for the best microphones. Make your content if you want to make content. You have to do it. That's the only way you're going to do it is if you just do it. You don't need the best shit. But you don't need to record with your room looking like this fucking room right here. That's actually unacceptable because that has nothing to do with your equipment whatsoever. You don't sit in a room that looks like this fucking shit stain and just sit there and record as if everything cool. At least Asmongold has the wherewithal to have the bullshit behind the camera that he's recording on. We know he lives like a pig, but that don't mean that all the pigsty is in view of the camera. Yes, Watts, exactly. Try, fake it. You're recording in your room, it looks small. I'm not judging your living situation and your condition. I'm not judging any of that. You don't need a pile of clothes in the corner. You don't need WD-40 sitting on the fucking safe next to your bed that's on the floor. This is insanity to me. This is insanity to me. Get a green screen. Yes. You don't need fancy shit. I'm not judging that whatsoever, but this is crazy. This room is crazy.
Fucking stupid, but very fucking funny. Fact of the matter is,
yeah,
we had gone
Carl.
over the content creator, the Birdman, on my channel a couple of times now at this point, and as a matter of fact and statement over on Jay's channel.
I wonder if he got his Wick appearance on his channel. I've seen, my first time I heard of this guy, he was on Wick's panel, and he made a fool of himself. He made a whole fool of himself. Okay, he streams a lot. That was a while ago. Deep in his Papa Guts, the Papa Gut bust over Nick Shirley and Caleb Hammer. I wonder if he got that Wick shit. He made a fool of himself. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours and I'm on almost 3 hours and I only got that one video. Okay, and for the love of fuck, at least have decent lighting. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Wise, lighting is difficult. Lighting is difficult. That's why I'm telling you, bro. Like, depending on what you're gonna get a following, bro. It's just gonna take time. That's all. Like, but when you see shit like this, I know it inspires you. When I see people that have content like this and has a following, I'm like, all right, yeah, bro. If this nigga can have 2,000 subs, I know I could hit 1 million at a point in life. Like, there's no way a channel like this should have 2K subs. To be honest, everybody could do it, and you make way more quality content. I'm not saying you comparing yourself, but this should inspire you. Like, if he can get 2K subs, I can get that shit. It's gonna happen one day, Dex. Is you just got to keep making your content the way you're doing. You already got videos that hit a good amount of views, even if it's hate views. That should help you in the algo. But yes, dude is weird as fuck. I really wish I could have covered more. Okay, I cover one thing. I cover one thing that I want to cover. Since we talking about anything is possible, facts, Janae. We could cover one more thing actually. We cover one more thing. I ain't gonna close. Wait, bro? Andrew and Erudite are still debating. They've been debating over 3 hours. Goodness gracious. How is it still daylight? What time is it there? It's probably like 6 or 5.
Or require
Reciting doesn't matter.
Require members to affirm it. I don't know if that changes.
Oh, no, wait.
Paid porn, which is what would happen.
Okay, it's dark.
I'm sorry.
My shit was
How are
just
they
still,
being
like,
forced to do blackmail porn?
I didn't say that they're being forced.
Right.
I'm saying
they're not being forced.
that would be the natural conclusion.
They're not being forced. They're being forced to not do porn. That's it.
Sure, but what I'm saying is that statecraft isn't about like anything that you're talking about. It's about whether or not these policy would lead to like a better outcome for society.
How would these policies not lead to better outcomes?
Because having a proliferation of black market porn is probably going to increase human trafficking, which we have actually seen. It's probably going to increase the type of like
we see it the
seediness
opposite
behavior.
way, actually. Places where prostitution is legal, you see more human trafficking. Do you know why?
Why?
Because they're prostitutes, and so they become far easier to exploit because they're in sex work. So you'll find this, by the way, across the board. That's been one of the most comprehensive studies. You can find it on Rachel's Substack, in fact. And the truth is like
science.
There's a ton. Well, it's a meta-analysis. It's not like she didn't just make it up. She wasn't like, oh. She wasn't like, oh.
Is it replicated?
But anyway, it was replicated. But the thing is like this is what's interesting. Is every time you see that there's prostitution which is legalized, you see human trafficking go up, not down.
So my understanding of when you look at like longitudinal studies of abolition is that while there is like a decrease in consumption, right, in the case of like alcohol, there's a decrease in consumption,
human trafficking.
but there's also an explosion over time, particularly of like money into black market things. So like while human trafficking probably acutely goes down, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that all of these groups that are engaging in black market porn are getting more money and can engage in more drug black markets, can engage in more human trafficking.
You could just make that case for anything you banned.
No, this would be a long. Yes.
Like,
yes, I'm making that for.
Yeah, you just make the case for ban murder. Well, I mean, that just increases the chances that people are going to utilize the black market to hire hitmen.
No,
I think. Yeah, I'm sure it would.
Wait, no, but the issue is why we ban murder is that almost all murders isn't because people are hiring hitmen. It's usually done in like an explosion of anger, or it's a person like planning it out, right? And so if you don't have murder be banned, then all of the people who just explode out and kill somebody, second-degree murder, what do you do with them?
Yeah.
What do you do with them?
Well, I mean, obviously you would imprison them.
Well, but in the system that you just suggested, where murder's not bad, and that if we legalize it, then more murders would happen.
Yes, of course, more murders would happen if you legalize murder.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
Okay.
Just like more porn will happen if you legalize porn.
Yeah, but the issue. I agree. I've granted that from the beginning.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't understand the outcomes of banning porn. Why were the outcomes in like 1930, where porn was bad, worse?
Because it wasn't regulated.
It made people engage in black market.
Yes,
I think that it led to
there was not
people.
very much black market porn in 1930.
There probably just was.
Yeah, right. Like, just because you don't know about it.
This whole like pinup girl
there definitely
postcard
just
thing.
wasn't.
There just wasn't that much porn in
No.
1930. I'm sure that that's not true.
Well, I don't know if it's porn as much as sex work. I don't know.
Isn't porn like one of the oldest institutions of
Okay, Erudite is conflating porn with sex work.
trade?
Sure.
So we just got rid of it when we
I didn't
abolished
say
it.
we got rid of it.
Oh.
I said there wasn't very much of it.
I'm
Especially in comparison to now.
See,
Don't
she
you
needs
think
to
that
say
right
sex
now with
work, not
prostitution
porn. It's
legalized,
sex
OnlyFans
work.
legalized, we have more porn we've ever had in this country?
Yeah, I would grant that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but the issue is that, like, for
It's like
example,
the most ridiculous thing ever. And if Christian nationalists get rid of it, there's
She needs to say
nothing
sex
un-American
work,
about
not
that.
porn.
Most of our history, porn was outlawed.
Sure.
Most of it.
Sure, I don't think porn is inherent to America.
It's a
That's
completely
thing.
within the
She's
confines
talking
of
about sex work, but she needs to clarify that.
Americana to do that. It's completely within within the confines of Americana to ban homosexuality. Again, another thing which was banned for most of American history. Ban transgender.
Because that's what she say. Isn't that the oldest profession? She's talking about like prostitution and shit. So she's talking about sex work, which is true. But he's saying porn, and she needs to make that distinction.
Why was it
banned for most
Why
of
was it
American
banned?
history?
Why was it banned?
Mostly due to religiosity.
Yeah, and I think that was bad. I think it was wrong.
Well, that's fine, but it makes my...
Yeah, Terrence, but Erudite's still trying to grow. Like, believe it or not, her channel is relatively small compared to the people she's engaged with and the places she's been. Her channel is relatively small, so Erudite's gonna be, you know, where she can be.
My point, you say, wait a second, religiosity.
Because I don't even know if Erudite has 30,000
subs
subs yet.
We can't allow the states to do any of this type of
The founders
blending.
wanted a separation of church and state. This is self-evident, and it is unchristian.
At the federal level only.
Okay.
Federal level
If
only.
you want to cling to
so
that one,
off.
you
I'm sorry. She doesn't have 100,000. I'm sorry.
totally can.
Because it's true.
It's absurd, but
You
sure.
know, I
She got
mean,
72K.
the
The
position that
founding
they should-
fathers definitely wanted Christian nationalism and a blending of church and state, but they wrote it out in the Constitution because they knew states would do it
Wait,
instead.
Dex, you DM Erudite?
Yippee yippee.
That was the literal compromise they made with them.
Not because they wanted states to have state-level religions.
Then
but
why didn't they ban it in the compromise? Why didn't the founders say, states, you can't have any religion?
Because Terrence, Andrew Wilson is popular as far as debate goes, and her debating him is a good look on her.
they knew that the states wouldn't join, and as you said, it was a very
That's
perilous
right.
time.
It was a compromise.
You're right, but
Andrew
that doesn't
Wilson,
mean that
Johnny.
federal leaders actually wanted
Just the Picklegate.
church and state to be blended.
It
And if they
doesn't.
did,
It wouldn't matter if they did.
they could have written it into the Constitution. In fact, probably the states that are joining would have liked that if they found some way
Yes,
to compromise and
pickle
bring
jar.
religiosity in
They
church
tried.
and state
The
together.
Anabaptists were like drowning kids. What are you talking? What were they going to find that was going to unify them under that? What?
I'm sure they could find something.
They're going to
Why
find
is Brian
something because
looking like
Erudite
that?
says so.
Bro, is Brian okay? Why does he look like that? He looks swollen. Is he okay?
They did. What they said was, you could do what you want with your
Again,
Yeah, Terrence, to us, he gets his ass handed, but to his audience, he always wins. He wins no matter what. Every time he has an appearance, they think he wins. And it's because rhetorically he's adept, but substantively he's trash.
Because they wanted.
And we were not going to impose a federal religion on you.
Hopefully we see it,
because
Dex.
they,
That's it.
Yeah, because they wanted a separation of church and state at
Yeah.
the federal level.
Yeah.
Yeah, federal level.
But I
allergic
never
to his
denied
bullshit.
at the federal level. This has been my position the whole time.
Yeah, you've insisted that because it was happening at the state level, it actually suggests that maybe the federal leaders did want church
Y'all
and state to
funny.
be blended. They just couldn't write it in because compromise stuffs.
The states wanted it, and the states are part of the system.
Oh, really, PTJ?
But the federal leaders didn't.
The feds don't usurp the
Hilarious.
states.
Sure, that's fine. But you think that if they wanted
love your Portland
Foundation was
pride.
not just about 39 guys signing a fucking document. The foundation was a contribution of tens of thousands of people.
Yes, of course.
And by the
And
way,
yet all of these Christian
governors
people
inside of
couldn't
states,
find a way to impose church and state together at a federal
they
level.
did.
At
They
a
did
federal
find a
level.
way to do it.
No, they didn't.
They didn't want them to at the federal level.
Why
'cause-
not?
Because they didn't want the federal government to be like, Maryland, you got to be a Catholic. You got to be a Catholic state. They didn't want that
They
shit.
could have imposed it in some other way. They could have written way more like godness into things. They could have written, for example, that the
They
federal
did write
institution-
godness. They wrote godness
People probably spit on them mics, and he just put that shit in his eye. Oh.
into the Declaration of Independence.
First of all, they wrote creator. None of the TJ references in any way can be like cited to like godness in a Christian way.
What's
at
a
all.
creator?
A
A rock?
A creator?
They think a rock was not God?
How many religions have a creator deity?
And are those creators God?
Why did TJ say
Are those
creator?
creators God?
I don't think so. But why did TJ?
Well, then
That's
Hold
because
on.
she's Christian, though.
Why didn't
That's it.
TJ?
Humans
Why didn't
creating
TJ?
humans?
Why didn't TJ just say Christ? No
What,
answer.
God?
today. Christ.
No, they said God because there was some.
They didn't say God. They said creator.
Because some of these states, again,
Some of the Christians wouldn't have agreed with Christ.
well, they
Come the
they
fuck on.
rejected the idea of the Trinity. Yes,
Christ.
the idea of the Trinity.
Yeah,
I
Terrence,
didn't
she's
say
Christian.
Trinity.
Yes,
I said Christ.
exactly.
You think that if TJ had
Like,
written
he's
in
trying to use an argument as if she's an atheist and she's not.
Christ, that some Christians would have been like, "How dare he?"
It's possible.
And yes, the founders definitely intentionally left religion out of the creation of this country.
No,
Yes.
come on.
But not only that,
But Andrew tries to argue that is part of it.
That's absurd.
let's just point this out.
So TJ, you can grant me at least. You'll concede. TJ definitely explicitly did not write the Christian God into his
hang on,
declaration.
using the non-offensive position in order to make sure that they would compromise, right? When they say creator, they definitely mean a god.
The Declaration of Independence has nothing to do with compromise.
No. But when they use the language in the Declaration of Independence for creator, do you think they're referencing?
I think TJ is explicitly not referencing Christ because he didn't want to.
What is he referencing?
He's referencing a general conception of creator.
Which is what?
To Christians, it would be Christ, but he didn't say Christ. Now, did he?
Okay, but what would the creator be?
To Hindus, it would be like...
Would the creator be God?
Yeah, he didn't say God.
Janae, I'm so shocked you don't know who Andrew is because your assessment is spot on. What you're feeling right now is exactly who he is.
Creator here meant God, right?
Why would you assume that?
Because what else is the creator?
Why wouldn't they just say Christ if they meant the Christian God?
Right.
Well, again, you're splitting
Why are you
hairs
laughing?
here.
I'm not splitting hairs. It's kind of important.
Yeah, the idea here is simple.
He just couldn't think of it. He's like, oh.
Andrew is so bad faith. God.
What's that word for the creator that Christians like? Oh, I can't remember. I'll just throw creator in there.
Pull up the Declaration of Independence and read it.
No. Oh,
we find
my
these
God.
truths to be self-evident.
This is not a dunk, bro.
Yeah.
That all men are endowed.
What up, Dal?
By who?
Creator.
Their creator.
Yeah.
Are you saying it doesn't say God anywhere?
I didn't say anywhere.
didn't
said
say
that.
that.
Creator.
She
I think
didn't say that.
It might say. I'd have to look through. I
Oh,
don't
it does?
remember.
It does say God?
I don't know. I'd have to look.
What do you think they're referencing by creator there?
I think if they wanted to reference
How would
Christ,
humans
they would
be
have said
endowed
it.
by a creator who wasn't their God?
Well, you can probably understand. Why didn't TJ say Christ?
Okay, so what? Answer my question.
Gosh, that's a good one. I would like to see him go to Cambridge. I would love to see that because Charlie Kirk got his ass handed to him.
For my question.
Answer mine. I asked you first.
The creator could refer to any creative deity.
How do you endow people as a creator?
To be fair, Dex, I've had this argument with like Random. Well, not Random. I think Random was on my side. Weiss and Jew. I told them, Andrew Wilson is not really Red Pill. He's not Red Pill. He's Manosphere is an umbrella and Red Pill is under it. But Andrew is under Manosphere. There's Red Pill. There's conservatism. There's Christian nationalism. There's passport bros. There's pickup artists. Andrew's a Christian nationalist. He's not Red Pill, but he's under the Manosphere. But he's a Christian nationalist, which is under that umbrella.
If you're not creating the people.
This is what most creation stories think, that the creator is endowing blah, blah, blah.
And the creator is usually referencing what?
For Christians, they would mean Christ. Now, why doesn't
they would also mean God? Right?
So why doesn't TJ?
That's a triune.
Why doesn't TJ say
because of
Christ?
probably the triune
Yeah,
concept.
I feel like you would not say creator if you don't mean Christ. That doesn't make sense to me if you're a Christian. That doesn't make any sense to say that.
Because Christians would have had an issue with
but
the
I actually
word
do
Christ.
think that there's a reference to God. And I do think that
oh, Terrence, that's a fact. He does not. He's the least Christian I've ever seen on social media. Because I remember he was on Pierce and I forget he was talking to I don't want to say he's something he wasn't. I don't know what this guy was, but he was a Christian at minimum. I don't know if he's like a priest or anything like that. But I think he had some type of ranking within Christianity. He asked Andrew to cite a verse. Andrew refused to do it. And I'm like, I don't think Andrew's a real Christian. I think he just fucking brigades himself as one to have to have some type of air of moral superiority over everybody else. I don't think Andrew's a real Christian. I think he just uses it as a shield to be able to judge other people. I don't think Andrew knows one Bible verse. I don't think he knows one verse in his whole Christian. I think he can't tell you anything Jesus, God has ever said. He's never, I watch a lot of Andrew Wilson debates. He's never referenced anything in the Bible, to my recollection. I could be wrong. Every time I've seen Andrew, I've never heard him reference anything from the Bible.
There's often references to Jesus Christ as well, not in those documents, though. Now, the other thing that's interesting here is that you still haven't answered to this, why it is that at the federal level...
You still haven't answered my question.
What's the question?
I said, why didn't TJ use the word Christ?
I just told you. I literally did answer that.
So he said, because
of the triune nature, yes.
So the Christians, any form of Christian, pan-Protestantism, I think is what word you're using?
Pan-Protestantism, yeah.
They would be opposed to the word Christ?
Yeah, Terrence, I don't know if you was here when I covered Ruslan talking to Joel Webbin. I said Ruslan literally gives me the perfect embodiment of what a 2026 Christian looks like. Ruslan gives me exactly what that looks like, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably deist, and others would. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Deists are Christian.
And Kyla too. She's so understanding of other people too, as being a Christian.
Just reject the divinity of Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's using creator because he doesn't want to use the word Christ.
Yeah.
Okay.
C-dub.
Literally.
But TJ meant Christ. The known.
I didn't say he meant Christ.
You're basically.
This is
yeah, you are.
This
You're
is
saying
part
the
of
implication
using,
of this
is
is
part
Christ.
of using non-offensive language, which then led to compromise using non-offensive language. The compromise was that the states could have their own religion, couldn't they? That's
So
the point.
we're jumping
the feds
back
are just
to the
not allowed
Constitution.
to tell the states what religion they can have.
I feel
That's
like
it. Mm-hmm.
if any of the feds really wanted to write Christ into the Constitution, they did a really shit job.
Right. Yep.
They're not writing it into the Constitution.
They probably should if they want it to be a Christian nation.
Right.
Oh my lord.
What? That's,
Probably should.
Respond.
Was it pan-Protestant at the time? Can
He's not gonna address that. He won't address it because he's wrong.
we agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Human
when they're
being.
making this
Human being. Spot on.
compromise
Atheists are more Christian than Christian these days. That's a fact.
with the states, did the states want
And that's no offense to Christians that are Christians. I don't want to pull a no true Scotsman, but if you're an Andrew Wilson Christian, I'm sorry, it's hard to argue that you're actually a Christian. But human beings, right? Atheists do, from what is prophesized within the Bible, people that are atheists abide by that way more than people like Andrew Wilson, I'll say. I won't say Christians. People like Andrew Wilson, Trump, not Trump, J.D. Vance, Stephen Miller, all these goofy people that's acting like they hide behind the Bible for their rationale for the way they behave, they're absurd. And like he said, atheists embody way more of Christian values than people that claim they're Christian, people like Trump, people like Andrew Wilson and shit like that. Hell, people would Rattlesnake Jake, all these people, these red pill guys that hide behind religion, no.
want their states to be Protestant?
No, but they wanted to be Christian, Protestant. Christian
They didn't want their various states to be some form of Protestantism usually.
It would depend on like.
Exactly, Terrence. And like Terrence, I really love you in my community, bro, because you be like, I just love the conversation you carry and the way you engage with these conversations. Like you no matter where you stand on something, you can always assess where other people stand on it too.
Like the people collecting in that state, if they're Protestant.
Yeah, most of the states.
Were what? Protestant?
We're Protestant.
Exactly, Corval. Same. I'm an atheist too.
It's funny.
I'm an
Because
atheist.
you argued with me on that one
Agnostic
before. Yeah,
atheist.
I'd grant that most of them were Protestant.
No, I didn't argue with you on that.
I feel like atheist used to be like rejection and agnostic was not knowing, and I always said I was agnostic, but now I'm seeing people kind of put them into one thing, you know?
You did. I said most of the states would have been Protestant, right? And you said no.
That never
It would have
happened.
been all of them.
No, that's not how that conversation went
Okay,
either.
it's fine. If you're granting
But
me it
here's
now,
the thing
I'll
that's
take it.
funny.
I'll
is
take it.
like,
I'll take it.
Yes, it was pan-Protestantism.
To be fair, Dex, I don't think Stevie identifies as a Christian, to be fair, though.
But most of it was Protestantism, right?
Yes, pan-Protestantism, correct. And they disagreed about all sorts of things. The divinity of Christ. They disagreed about their theology of baptism.
I was raised Christian, too. I went to a Catholic school from kindergarten to junior year in high school. I went to a Catholic school.
They didn't
disagreed
disagree that
about
Christ
their
existed.
theology about all sorts of different
They
things.
they didn't disagree that Christ existed.
Yes, but the divinity matters. And so the thing is that's interesting here is like when we're talking about each of these individual states, each one of them was allowed to have a religion, and that was part of the compromise. The entirety of the First Amendment is just saying that the federal government can't establish a religion because those states didn't want them to impose that religion on them. Not that the states could not have religions. That
You're
was
right.
never the intention.
You're right. They didn't want the federal government to impose religion on them.
I was raised
it's almost
Christian.
like a founding piece of the American ethos is not forcing religion and not forcing beliefs onto people.
Yeah,
And this is why I fuck with people like Kyla. She's a Christian, but understands that America was not built on the country being Christian. She fully accepts and understands that and argues that as a Christian, that America's foundation is not built on Christianity. Despite if some founders, actually a minority of founders actually being Christian, she argues that that's not what the country was built on.
I agree.
Unless
Yeah,
you're in
that
the
is the American
unless you're in the
ethos.
States, which is part of the American ethos.
Oh, so now we can impose.
They did.
Like what?
Oh my God! You had to make declarations that you believed in God in order to vote in many of these states.
Not federally.
I didn't. What states? States.
I'm talking about America. You were talking about
America is a collection of
America.
states.
See,
America
that's a
had
different
I said
argument.
the word state 4 times.
Yep. So
state.
You were talking about how the federal
states.
government did not impose on the states a religion.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
then I said,
states.
so I responded.
Yes,
And I
states.
said, you're right. It's almost as though the founding fathers did not want to impose a religion on the people.
And then my response to you was, of course,
But
that's
the
been
states
established.
did. But
the states did, yes.
But the states did.
The states did.
Yeah, we're talking about America.
It is interesting. A lot of y'all are saying that you're atheists but grew up Christian. It's so funny how unintentionally I don't even talk about that much, and a lot of my audience, well, at least the ones engaging in the comments right now, have a similar story. That is interesting.
Ethos specifically.
The states are part of the American ethos.
Sure, but I don't think that Maryland decided that
Brian is not well. He doesn't look healthy at all. He doesn't look healthy. Like his eyes are sunken in. He's red. He looks bloated. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Brian doesn't look healthy right now. I'm so confused.
they want to be, let's say, Protestant. I don't know what the.
I don't even know why he keeps showing himself right now. This isn't funny.
No, it's Maryland's.
Like, and you see how he looking back and forth at them like he's being comedic. It's not funny. You look sick, and this isn't funny.
Ability to do that. That's part of the American ethos.
Sure. And then they got rid of it, all of them.
No,
but the American ethos.
Why is he doing? That's not funny. Why is he doing that? Especially because you don't look well.
The American ethos from the founding fathers was we don't impose a religion on people.
Deadass, he don't look healthy.
At the federal
we
level,
let the states choose.
No,
we don't impose a religion on people. True, base. Thanks, Andrew.
Oh, except we did.
Where did we federally?
At the state level, it was imposed all over the place.
I'm talking about federal.
Why didn't the federal government go in there and stop those fucking states from imposing their religious values?
Because they
couldn't.
Well, they didn't want to.
Yeah, exactly. They couldn't. They couldn't. They were not allowed to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost as though the American founding fathers agreed that we should not impose religion on people, which I would say Christian nationalism wants to violate.
Except they didn't agree with that. They compromised for it.
Oh, so they did want it. They just couldn't do it in the federal thing. So they
that was the compromise. Yes.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. You're saying that actually, the founding fathers did want the imposition of religion on America. They just couldn't do it at the time, so they wrote it in this backhanded way to let the states do it. But the actual intention of the founding fathers was to
in a backhanded way.
In religion
it was
into
written
the Constitution.
into the 10th Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Neth, I don't know if he drinks or not, but he does not look healthy at all.
Backhanded way. It's an upfront way. It's very upfront.
Especially if you look at Brian from how he looked like a year or so ago.
It's like if they wanted religion to be imposed on the nation, they would have done so.
They didn't want a national religion imposed on the nation.
You're right, they didn't. They wanted separation of church and
yes, C-Dub, correct.
state at the national level, which is central to the American ethos.
We've agreed with that 500 times.
True, but then you keep on trying to fight me and being like, well, Maryland kept it for a while, so that's actually also the American ethos. It's like, no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, actually, they updated to
Why
agree
is he
with
doing
it. In
this?
fact, every
Stop.
single state,
This isn't
yes,
funny.
every single state no longer has a religious test,
because
correct?
the 14th Amendment.
Brian is cooked.
That's not the states doing
Brian's
that.
cooked.
That was a federal thing.
Most of the states updated and got rid of their religious test long before the 14th Amendment.
Oh, yeah? When do you think the last one ended?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
When do you think it comes out?
The 60s? I think the last one was in the 60s where you didn't have to say, declare that you worshipped God in order to, swear an oath or something like that. I think it was the 60s.
Sure, but the last one happening in the 60s doesn't mean that most of the states hadn't updated before then.
Some of them did.
Sure.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah, that's all I'm
But
claiming.
the truth is,
you're trying to fight me on that, but that's what I'm claiming.
Most of that was because the 14th
you know who
Amendment.
Kyla is, Nugget. If you watch Destiny.
Do you think most of the states got
Kyla
rid of
and
the
Andrew or
religious
whatever.
clause when the 14th Amendment came out, or do you think most states had already adopted the federal landscape, and then some places had it kind
what
of
was
imposed
going
on them?
on was that a lot of the states wanted to return, actually, to the idea of having state religion.
A lot
and
of
this
them?
was challenged in courts. And so what happened is, yes, this was a national conversation.
Challenged in court, and then
it was challenged in court. They said, well, based on the 14th Amendment, which is about fucking citizenship, states can't do that anymore because of the fucking uniformity clause or whatever it is. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Cool. So the federal government of America, in line with the federal government initially, doesn't want to impose religion. And then when it became a big question of whether or not states could continue to do so, the same American government over time also agreed that it was un-American to do so. Cool.
Well, they didn't
Thank
agree
you.
it's
My point.
un-American.
Well, they definitely felt that it was a violation of the Constitution.
Based on the 14th Amendment. That doesn't make it un-American.
Sure.
What would be un-American about repealing that? Nothing. Nothing.
I'd say it would
Nothing
be
would be un-American
Yeah,
about
I think the
repealing it.
federal government initially and throughout all of America's history has moved in a direction of separation of church and state. They think it's very important
At
to
the
not.
federal level, that's true.
Yeah, America. We are talking about America. Remember?
America's not just the federal government.
I didn't say it just is, but when we're talking about the emergent principle of America, we should probably think about what the federal
We are thinking about it.
Yeah,
We're
but you're
thinking
kind of
about the
disregarding
federal
it. You're
and we're
kind of
thinking about the
being like,
state.
I know the federal government said that we can't impose religion,
Really,
but states
Nugget?
said they could.
Whatever,
So actually,
Destiny and Erudite been on here a
actually,
couple
the American
times.
ethos is imposing religion.
I know
on the
that
American state.
I know that the states could definitely impose all of their religious
I'm cuter
values.
than that when I say it.
Terrence, yes and no. It depends on the other words they use too. Because I curse a lot, and I know that I have a good vocabulary. Not trying to brag or humble brag or nothing of the sort. But I have a large vocabulary, but I do curse a lot. So I don't think it's necessarily a fact. But I do think if you don't see other parts of their vocabulary, if you don't see a deeper vocabulary, then yes, it could seem like people that curse a lot don't have one. But neither one of them are cursing a lot.
Everybody but the feds. All that matters is what the feds want.
I think that's one of those things that people just say, but it's not necessarily true.
I feel like when I do
all
it,
that matters,
it's a little cuter.
All that matters is what the feds want, man.
Bro, Rachel, when I watched this earlier, Rachel was sending super chats, and I think they've been $20 minimum. This is pathetic. Why? You like, she just keeps wanting her chats read on stream while her husband is up here debating, and she just be up here like, yay, baby, let me $20, read this, like, not read it, but put it on screen. She keeps donating to this fucking platform to back up her husband that's up there debating, and everybody else clearly thinks Andrew always wins. Why are you, I would, honestly, if I was debating on a platform and my wife was donating to a platform that's not mine, granted, I think Andrew might get a cut of this shit, to be fair. I think Andrew gets a cut. Because Andrew shows up on whatever a lot. They probably have some type of working where Andrew gets a cut of their donations. I'm 98% confident that Andrew gets a cut of whatever is happening when he comes on their stream, because he comes on there a lot. And I don't know where he lives, but this is California, and I don't think he's on the West Coast whatsoever. But this is weird for her to always be donating money as a content creator when her husband's on there. It's just weird. It's just unnecessary because it don't even get read out loud.
Because the states don't even matter, bro. Even though that was who the compromise was with. It's like, what are you talking about?
Your wifey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's almost like since it was founded by Christians, and these same Christians separated.
Yeah, I just saw it. I saw it. That is interesting, though, y'all. But to be fair, he could just like what it's. I didn't read it, Dex, but I seen it was a scripture. It could be that he just likes what it says. You know, like I agree with some things. I agree with some things I've seen in the Bible, in the Quran, or within Buddhism. Like I agree with some of the things. Like I love what the yin yang symbol stands for. I love what the Ankh stands for. And that doesn't necessarily mean I subscribe to any of the religions that these things are tied to. Just being, fair.
Church and state. So it's almost like the Christians even then agreed with me that it would be unchristian to impose a religion at a federal level on the people. It's almost like they
never in
like
question.
I have a tattoo of the Ankh yin yang symbol and the Ayara on me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one piece too. It's one piece of them all, because I believe in different things that they stand for, but I don't subscribe to a religion.
It is. You're just trying to be like, but Maryland kept it for a while, man. Okay.
Not just
Maryland's
Maryland.
not America. Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
Some
you're right.
states.
Maryland's not America. You got
True.
it.
But
What
10
was I
states aren't
thinking?
America. America is a collected, unified group under the Constitution, particularly the federal Constitution.
A unified group of what?
People.
States?
People.
States?
Yeah,
sure,
what
as
was
well
funny
states,
about
but-
Andrew is when I talked to him, is he was saying that he was yelling at me about something that I didn't even hold. He was telling me, he was like, you don't give Trump the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, bro, I literally in my opening said that I don't even think Trump is guilty of anything, and he's trying to say that I wasn't giving Trump the benefit of the doubt. Andrew does not care about the conversation happening. Andrew cares about winning. Andrew does not listen to his interlocutor. He just wants to look superior to them, and that's what's fucked up about Andrew.
Like the people of the states, yeah.
Mm-hmm. When we're talking,
like if I could, if I talked to Andrew again, the first thing I would try to cover is, Andrew, why did you say that I don't give Trump the benefit of the doubt, as one of the liberals on this panel that's saying that I don't think Trump is guilty of touching kids necessarily. I'm not saying he ain't. I'm saying, like, at this point in time, I don't have enough evidence to say it. Why did you say I don't give him the benefit of the doubt? And he would have to answer for that, and he would find a way to run around it whatever type of way he does. He doesn't care about the truth. He just wants to win.
About rights and separations of power, do you think that state separation and federal separation matter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Cool. That doesn't mean that we were founded on a Christian nation, that Christian nationalism is what the American ethos is, or that it should be.
Well, what was in question is whether or not un-American to change the Constitution because Christian nationalists want to, and you never made a compelling case for that at all.
No, it was not about whether it was un-American to change the Constitution.
That's literally the prompt. The prompt is if it's un-American to have Christian nationalism, your only argument was, I think that if they went in and restricted things that I don't like, that's un-American because no reason.
No,
their reasoning was like, because life, liberty, and some nebulous pursuit of happiness.
Human being.
And even if I grant...
That is funny because he got 4 and Erudite got 1 stacked.
that Christian nationalists can get in there and they can do things like go after liberty. That's fine because I'm not a liberty maximist. But they can preserve life. That's fine. I'm not a life maximist.
Hold on, no.
It's like you just equivocate on everything.
I'm not. How is any of that equivocating?
Because you utilize when I say, wait a second, when you say liberty, if you go against liberty, that's going against some kind of American ethos. I say, okay, that's fair. Then I give you an example of when we would go after liberty and it would be fine. You're like, that's fine because I'm not a liberty maximalist.
How is that equivocating?
Because you're using the word liberty here in 2 different ways. You're saying, well, liberty in this case...
I'm using it the same.
Okay, I can appreciate this. I guess whatever is trying to do fact checks, equivocation is a logical fallacy and rhetorical tactic where an ambiguous word or phrase is used with multiple meanings in the same argument, making it deceptive. I can appreciate that.
Okay, so where's the threshold for maximalism for liberty?
I'm not sure exactly where it is, but there is a threshold.
I got to take a leak. There's a threshold somewhere.
He ain't got to pee. He got to smoke.
Wait, there's a threshold for most things.
First of all, this Charlie Kirk picture in the back is cringe. Why the fuck, bro? Bro.
Not knowing the precise point of Loki's wager where it falls isn't like incoherent or inconsistent.
Yeah, it just doesn't tell us anything.
Well, if we work as a collective to find where that line is, it would tell us something.
Argue
meaningful, right?
Don't do it.
Yeah. We got some chats here. I think there's one actually specifically for you, Kyla.
A Kirkification picture.
Come in here. Maybe I should wait.
Of course, the question's for Kyla.
Until Andrew returns, so he can maybe hear your response. But I'll go ahead. Can you lower it to 90?
Donated $100. Kyla, are you a Christian?
Yes.
What denomination? Are you pro-choice or pro-life? Would you get an abortion under any circumstance? If so, what? Are you fine with gay marriage? Can women be clergy?
So what denomination, and if you want to...
Yeah, so I can answer these. What these are basically like Christian litmus tests to basically like see how pure I am, because Christians love to be snowflakes and clutch their pearls as much as anyone else. Do you want to throw them back on screen so I make sure I respond to them all?
Yeah, I will pull it back up right now.
So am I Christian? Yes. Which denomination? I'm broadly Protestant, but I appeal to a form of theology called radical orthodoxy. So it's not really like a denomination, but Protestant generally is fine. Are you pro-life or pro-choice? Me personally, I'm pro-life as maximal as possible, but at a policy level, I think decriminalization leads to the most good outcomes, and I think God, as a virtue ethicist, wants the most good outcomes.
This is a Christian. This is what a Christian sounds and looks like. In my personal opinion, this is what Christianity looks like to me.
Comes maximally as much as possible. Would I get an abortion under any circumstances? I have no idea.
Right. That's under any circumstances hard to just say definitively. That's super hard to say. Because say the worst of the worst situation, y'all know what I'm talking about, happens to somebody, you can't just be like, would you keep it? It's like, if you're pro-life and you be like, what if the worst situation possible happens to you? Would you keep it? Like, you could sit there and say yes, but if it really happens to you, who knows what you might do? And I'm glad she's being honest about that. As being a pro-life person, she's being honest. Like, I can't say if I would do that under any circumstance.
Probably not, but I'm not sure. I haven't had to confront that in a serious way.
Exactly.
If so, what? I'm not sure. Possibly, but
exactly human being. It's fine. That's the thing with this topic. Is like, personally, you don't have to do you literally can do what you believe in with this with the conversation of abortion. But policy telling everybody on earth they have to do what you want to do, that's a tough pill to swallow, in my opinion.
probably not. I'm pretty conservative when it comes to like doing sin, so probably not. Are you fine with gay marriage? Legally, yes. Can
Yeah,
women
hip
be
hop head. I don't know if you was just in here when I explained my conversation with him, but that's exactly what he did.
clergy? I haven't actually theologically looked into that one. I just don't really care, if I'm being honest. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Those are so.
Wait, Terrence, you're agreeing with me. That's what I'm saying. Like, what I'm saying is, if you personally are pro-life and don't ever want to do that, Kyla is saying that. I don't want to say the verbiage, but if you have the worst experience happen to you and you end up bearing a child, that person is pro-life might not make that choice in that situation. That's what I'm saying. And that's basically what she's saying. She's like, I don't want to sit here and say, in every circumstance, I'm going to carry the child to term. Because you don't know what you would do if you were in a situation where the worst circumstance comes upon you. You know?
TTS is...
Andrew is smoking. He's not peeing.
A few more, but I'll wait until Andrew's back. If you guys do want to get a TTS in, that's streamlabs.com/whatever. We've lowered the TTS. It was previously $200. Now it's $199.
It's real out here. It's real out here. It's real out here. If he wouldn't, they didn't do that for no reason. It's real out here. It's real out here.
There's nothing
getting a deal.
This is Trump's economy, y'all.
Want to get one in? Yeah, they're getting a good deal. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, like the video. What are we at on the likes? Does anybody know in the chat? What are we on? Or Nathan, can you check what we're on the likes? Maybe we can hit a threshold here before Andrew returns.
How many likes do you want?
3,700. Guys, there's 11,000 people watching. Andrew's going to return in just a moment. Let's get to 4,000.
Andrew cannot
we need 300
not
likes.
smoke.
300 likes.
Andrew
if,
is
you guys can get
smoking.
us to
He is
4,000
not.
likes.
He is not
Regardless who
pissing.
you like here, all right? Brian was kind enough to host this debate and bring you guys content. Give him the likes.
And instead of proper...
To be fair, hip hop head, the 100 is to get it read, to get it shown on screen. I don't know what the minimum is, but I think it's like probably $20 or $10. But 100 gets it read. Remind me again, Terrence, what idolatry means. Is it like idolizing a figure?
Really moderating the debate. I spent the bulk of it cleaning up the table.
After women.
Cleaning up the table. Andrew spilled too, by the way. But not as big of a spill as yours,
mine was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad.
I'm very sorry about that.
It was a bad spill.
TWJ, I agree.
Yeah,
okay, we rescued it.
Yeah, it's all good. So guys, like the video. Like the video for the spill. Like the video. I'm over here carpet cleaning.
Feminist Brian Atlas cleaning up after women.
Whoa.
It was good of you to not make me to do it.
Flip it and ship it. Well, hey,
okay, I'm doing this. I don't have to because I'm behind.
Okay,
he's back.
There on viewers over there on Twitch. If you can pull up, Nathan, the Twitch on Windows, perfect. Guys, 1,300.
I don't morally. I don't think it means anything morally, but I don't think it's healthy to idolize any person or thing. I think it's fine to look up to people and try to model yourself after people that you respect, but idolize. If we reading idolize is the same thing, I don't think it's healthy.
Over there on Twitch. If you have a Prime sub available, if you have Amazon Prime, link it could support. Guys, like the video again, get us to Texas Red. Thank you very much for the soup chat. Very kind of you. This is getting annoying. SCOTUS gets to determine what the Constitution says based on the power grab of Marbury v. Madison power grab. No state agreed to the loss of their ability to determine state religion. The 14th says that entirely from the
Andrew
bench of
is
SCOTUS.
never, even when if y'all seen when he talked to Papa Gut was in there trying not to debate him. He was trying to talk to him. And Andrew refuses to just talk to people. I don't know if I've ever seen a time where Andrew just talks to people unless he agrees with them. Then he could talk to them. If they agree with each other politically, morally, religiously, then he'll talk to you. If you don't agree with Andrew, he's going to try to debate you. He won't have a conversation with you. When Papa Gut talked to him, he was not trying to debate the man. He tried to talk to the man, and he refused to do that. It's just so obvious. Why Andrew is going how it goes. Andrew's trying to debate brain everybody. He's trying to debate bro. He doesn't want to be honest. He doesn't want to be genuine in the conversation.
Totally un-American, by the way.
Texas Red, thank you for the super chat.
I don't care about this. I want them to get to
the idea that
I would say Christian
national
or gay marriage, federal
ideal, gay fundamentalist thing, all of American, an American Christian American.
So it learned
Side of a democracy, Christian
nationalists would go gay marriage, and for all of the liberal porn, the liberal degeneracy, Christian nationalists would go.
If it's the case,
that's okay.
If it's the case that inside of a democracy, Christian nationalists are elected to these high offices and can pass legislation, which then stops California from doing that, you could not have a single objection to that.
Sure, I could. I would say probably those Californians don't want that, and that would be a pretty major violation of state rights.
But under the current framework, you're calling it un-American if we don't adhere to the 14th Amendment and the SCOTUS ruling of the 14th Amendment. It's fundamentally un-American because the founders didn't want states to have religions or some shit.
I said that what's un-American is imposing federal religions onto others, imposing religion generally.
Yeah, but that was
onto
never
others.
in question, whether or not the feds were supposed to impose a religion.
Well, the question is it an American ethos to impose religion on others? And I'm saying no.
No, that's not true. It
is the American ethos to impose religion.
You equivocate again between, you say, the federal government's not allowed to impose religion. I say, yeah, that's true. And you say, well, so then America's not supposed to impose religion. No, that doesn't follow. One thing doesn't follow from the other. America's not just the federal government. America's not just federal amendments. America's not just this. America's also states rights, what the states want, what states are. And by the way, the most key American thing, the states used to be the ones who sent up Congress. You didn't get to vote on that shit. The states were the ones who did that. That was the most American system. So I don't know what you're even talking about with this. You never demonstrated how it's un-American for Christian nationalists to use the system of liberalism in order to change it around for Christianity because the feds aren't supposed to impose.
Because it explicitly says that no religion, like we explicitly have it understood in the Constitution that religion should not I don't know the word. Religion shouldn't be forced upon anybody. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know the exact verbiage. But no, religion shouldn't be imposed on anybody. So state or not. No. Just like a state can't accept murder, sir. I know I'm not saying they're the same morally, but what I'm saying is a state can't supersede what the what the Constitution says was federally acceptable. It's not, no.
Religion. Christian nationalists aren't proposing.
A state can't just impose religion. That's the point. It's imposition. It's not like, oh, we want to follow Christianity. No.
One single unified Christianity. They're saying that the states should be able to impose Christianity if they fucking want to.
But you already granted me that if Christian nationalists had power, they would probably prefer a federal religion. They would probably prefer federal policies on abortion and on gay marriage. They would impose these things at a federal...
Hip-hop head, the only reason it's going in circles is because of Andrew. Because Andrew will never concede anything ever of substance. Andrew will concede on maybe a definition or something, but on substance, Andrew will never concede anything ever.
Level.
And the system is set up for them to do that.
That doesn't make it good.
That doesn't make it bad.
For Christians, it makes it bad. Yeah,
no, it doesn't make it bad for Christians because you say so based on Agrippa's trilemma of your assumption of God. That doesn't make it bad. Nothing's bad.
I know that. I know Agrippa's trilemma really stressed you out, but I would say that it's unchristian. Yeah, I think it's heretical, right? Jesus.
Well, I think that
the typological argument is the embodiment of Christ himself.
Keep in mind, both these people are Christians. One is telling us that Christianity should not be implemented within the country, and another one is saying it should be.
Rejecting kingship, right? John 6,
though Christ,
after feeding the 5,000,
to Hinge, spot on.
He perceived they were going to crown.
They don't start from being Christians, in my opinion. They start from conservatism and bigotry, then ad hoc justify it through religious interpretation. That is spot fucking on.
Him king, so he withdrew to the mountains, right? We see Christ, Jesus, regularly rejecting political office, regularly rejecting political power, because he said, my kingdom is not here on earth. It's not a state. It's a heart condition. It is a kingdom of heaven.
But you also said on the other side of your mouth that the reason that God anointed kings and Jesus Christ is God is because we just weren't ready for liberal values yet.
Yeah, in the same way that I don't think that we...
Yeah, where does it say that in the Bible?
Hold on, not liberal values, God's values.
Yeah, where does it say that? anywhere in the Bible that the reason that God anointed kings, he only did that because, well, we didn't have a better system yet.
Why? So why?
Now answer my question. Don't ask me one. Where in the Bible can I find anywhere in the New Testament? I don't care if it's Matthew. I don't care if it's Mark. I don't care if it's Luke. I don't care if it's John. I don't care who you want to reference.
Yeah.
Show me anywhere in the New Testament where it says that
Yeah,
God.
He know all the books, but I bet you he can't recite a single scripture. I bet you he can. I've never heard him do it. I could be. I want to be wrong on that because of how much he's behind religion. I don't think Andrew could recite a single scripture out of the Bible.
Stopped anointing kings because we just weren't ready yet for democracy.
I'm not throwing memory verses at you like I'm
Let her tell us she's happy, Terrence, so who knows?
some scholar kid. When we actually engage in theology, right? We look at chapters, we look at typo.
Can you answer my question?
Yeah, I said I'm not throwing memory verses
So
at you like a child.
so there's nowhere in the Bible that says that?
No, I would say that there was a strong theological typological argument. Would you reject typological arguments as a sound form of theology?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
cool.
saying that here, when we're talking about typology,
I didn't say that there's a specific verse that says Jesus went and he said, "You guys, democracy is actually the best thing."
but
I
you're
never
going to
said
cite
that.
a verse where he decides he's not going to be king as proof that he doesn't want any more kings.
As evidence that, like in my typological argument, which
Uh-huh.
looks at the transition over time of
Let's look at the
increasingly-
transition over time.
Sure, yeah. So in the case of Moses, we have like extreme statecraft and Christian law. The judges,
King
right? We
David.
have tribes.
Let's
King
talk
David's
about King
later.
David.
That's-
Yeah, also King David. Let's talk
was
about the
anointed by
kings.
the prophets,
Mhm.
right? So now we have one step of separation between the king and God. So in the case of judges, they were both kind of acting as statesmen and as like spiritual leaders ish. Whereas by the time we get to David, we have Samuel anointing the king. But Samuel's actually the prophet. He's the word of God, and the kings are supposed to honor that. Then by the time we get to the priests,
That
now
sounds
there's
an
no
awful lot.
statecraft at all. The priests are existing under Roman occupation, and then we get to Jesus, the final typological fulfillment of this, and it is a complete and utter rejection on Christ's part of politics. That's what we see over time.
Then how come the apostles engage in politics, including Paul?
I don't. Paul. When did Paul ever say that we should like usurp? Didn't he say render unto Caesar
Paul
what is Caesar's?
literally went to Corinth in order to battle for the position of authority because the super apostles came in and usurped his position.
Not
And
not for state power.
Yes, that was part of statecraft in Corinth. Yes, it was.
no.
Yes, it was. You're incorrect here.
No, was Corinth
in
run by
fact-
Romans or by the Christians?
Well, that's not relevant here.
It's kind of important
What's
to statecraft
relevant-
under the Roman
Yeah,
Empire.
Do you
Two
realize-
Hinge and Dex, y'all on point. Yeah, I think Kylo came. I think so much time has passed. Kyla came so prepared because she knows Andrew. At this point, Andrew is starting to lose his aura over time. Andrew's been dog walk lately in debates, even to people like Papa Gut. Papa Gut has some downsides in his talk to him, but Papa Gut kind of handled him pretty well too at the same time. Andrew Wilson is easy to read. I still don't think I'm prepared to talk to him one-on-one, but I think depending on the topic, I think I can handle Andrew depending on the topic. Some topics I'm not prepared to go in depth with, but I know how Andrew operates, and I think that I can prepare because he doesn't care about substance. He's a
Inside
rhetorician.
of many of these Roman places, while they were under Roman occupation, there was still a lot of govern within the cities, as long as they didn't violate Roman rules.
As long as they didn't violate Roman rules.
But that doesn't mean that they couldn't impose, and they did all the time, their own cultural, spiritual, various
and
things
spiritual.
like this.
Yeah, they didn't engage in statecraft.
That is statecraft.
No, so a
If you
pope,
can
no.
could you pass
Oh,
laws?
Proivile. Steven is a regular for my content. I love Rationality Rules is one of my top 5 channels. Like I'm mad he doesn't upload daily. Like I watch everything he uploads.
Inside of Corinth, as a spiritual leader, because the answer is yes, you could. So if that's the case, as long as you didn't violate Roman law, you could do that. How is that fill in with your typography or your typographic, whatever it is? How?
Because
Show me.
at no point is Paul going there and saying that we should impose Christian laws and all these things. He's saying this is what good Christians should do. This is how we should must and ought conduct ourselves. When he's
Then
asked
why is he
about
removing
states-
these people?
What?
Why is he removing the super apostles? Why is he there to remove the super apostles?
Probably because he found them unbiblical, not because he thought they were bad statesmen.
He said both.
He said
both.
What-
He said the
where's the verse?
informing.
Where's the verse? Give me a verse.
This is a long stream. If y'all want to watch it, whatever is covering it right now. But we did it longer than my normal streams. I'm sorry. So yeah, on whatever. If y'all want to continue watching, I'm sorry to be so abrupt, but I'm realizing how long I've been on here, and still got other shit I got to tend to within real life. But I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I remember seeing his debate with Soy Pill, and he wouldn't make a concession. What the Proud Boys did on January 6th, and he claimed he won the debate when Soy made a concession in good faith. Yeah, his Soy Pill debate was bad faith. I saw that too. He doesn't want to listen like at all. Yeah. You gonna stream? Okay. Are you streaming now, Dex? I would just purge everybody to you. No, you're right, Terrence. Damn, don't make me feel bad, my nigga. Damn. Two Hinge. Was it 1-on-1 with the Relevant? Was it a 1-on-1? Is it a 1-on-1? Was his okay, y'all? So we're gonna continue watching. Dex gonna set up his shit. I'm send everybody to Dex. When do I come back? I stream. Oh, Nugget, thank you for. I see you sub too. I appreciate you. You found my content and it seems like you rock with me. I stream every Friday. I upload about 5 times a week. I upload videos. Roughly 4 to 6 times a week I upload videos. But I stream every Friday. So I appreciate you for rocking with the content. Yeah, so that's my schedule. I stream every Friday, but I upload 4 to 6 times a week. We could continue watching.
Let's go into
this.
Timothy.
Dexio covers a lot of the similar content to me. I want y'all to watch Dex too if y'all engaged right now and he's finna stream.
First
too.
of all, let's go into Timothy and we can go.
Terrence, hit me up, bro. You engage a lot, man. We could cover a lot of shit you like to cover too, because we do like to talk about the same type of shit. Okay, Two Hinge, you're gonna have to send me this debate. I don't know if I saw Andrew and Irrelevant do a 1-on-1. If you have a link to that, I need to see that because I like Irrelevant, and I didn't know that if they had a 1-on-1. I don't know if I'm forgetting it or I missed it, and I need to see that. Especially if you're saying he got one up on Andrew.
Especially when it came to the ideas of the cult of Artemis.
Oh yeah, Andrew struggles to defend Trump for sure. Andrew cannot defend Trump. Thank you, Nugget. Appreciate you. Yeah, I stream every Friday. Upload 4 to 6 times.
This was purely political. The fact of the matter was
worshiping the cult of Artemis is only political.
It was economic.
No, I didn't assume it was face to face. I didn't assume that.
It was both.
I'm sure there's a link to the video.
Both.
No,
both did, and I'll tell you why.
He constantly talks about
what was going on with the cult of Artemis. The reason they were so fucking pissed off is because the entire economic model of Ephesus revolved around the fact that they were making these silver statues. Okay. This was a political battle and it was a spiritual battle. It was both at the same time.
So did they say that nobody can now make these silver statues, or did they say that Christians should not engage in it, not make it, and not buy it?
Christians were trying to remove that as an economic forum for the cult of Artemis.
And did Paul go there and say we should get rid of it as an economic forum? And
he told Timothy just that.
No, he said don't engage with it. Christians aren't supposed to.
Yeah, you need to read the letters to Timothy because you're incorrect here. Okay. The truth is that the reason, and I understand why. I understand why you came up with
Two
this.
Hinge, do you know where if you don't have a link, do you know where I could a lead to where I could find it? Who can what, Terrence?
Idea. The anointing of kings happened. God put kings in place, but it was just because they weren't ready for another system that didn't have kings. Does that mean right this second, anywhere that there's a king, that king's sinning?
No, it depends on what the king is. What do you mean?
Like in your country, is it sinful to be a king in your country?
No, because the way that the kings are exclusively performative. Like they have no actual monarchic power. The king can't, for example, tell Canada that they must impose Christian.
Kyla stays pleasant depending on the platform she is. If she's on like TikTok or talking to some type of rage baiter, she'll go in, not mask off. She'll go in.
Morals.
But let's just say that you had like a king. I don't know.
He's raising his voice because he's getting frustrated. Because one, he can't smoke in here, I guess. Excuse me. I'm assuming he can't smoke. Probably they don't want him to smoke in here. And two, because Kyla is contending with him. He's not dog walking her.
And this king,
is he Christian?
Yeah, he's a Christian. Zimbabwe's like hell on earth. Okay, let's say. And this king gets into authority and he imposes all these Christian values, and it brings in all sorts of economic prosperity, and people are very happy.
Yeah, that'd be a great outcome.
Is he sinning?
He might be. Yeah. Does he know that it's wrong for him to impose Christian statecraft?
I don't think it is wrong.
It depends on what he's imposing. What is he imposing?
He's imposing that you can't murder, no homosexuality,
problem with
no
murder.
prostitution. He's imposing no drugs. He's saying all sorts of things like this and imposing them from Christian ethics.
Yeah, so I would have an issue with a number of the Christian ethics that is only conducted around sin and not actually about statecraft.
But you can't demonstrate that he's actually sinning.
Oh my
What do
God.
you mean you can't demonstrate?
Show me how this Christian king is doing anything which is incorrect biblically by
So-
being a Christian king.
Yeah, so if he imposed on his people, for example, something that they can't do because he thinks it's a sin, not because he thinks that it makes for like a worse statecraft, I would think that that would be wrong.
Show
because
me the sin. Show me the wrong.
Robbing peoples of agency. And
You're
choice.
not robbing them of agency by having rule of law based on Christian ethics. You still have agency.
If you're forcing it exclusively because it's sin, right? So if there are secular people in Zimbabwe that are gay,
Yeah.
and you force them to not be allowed to
So?
engage in it, and there's let's say there's
How is
Her being a woman does play a part too, to be fair.
That's sinful.
throwing people in jail who are non-Christians would be wrong to do. Yeah.
Why?
Well, it depends on what you mean by
No.
sin, right? Like when I talk
didn't
about
know y'all
sin,
couldn't see
If
all
the
this
king
time,
of Zimbabwe says homosexuality is not to be
Y'all
engaged
let me
in
do
anymore
all
and he
that.
can't get married, how is he sinning?
because he's imposing on non-Christians something about sin.
So?
So I think the issue would be that
about
that's
so.
inherently anti-Christian.
No, it's not. You
Yes,
can
it
make
is.
impositions.
Where does
of-
Jesus
of your ethics.
impose himself on
He
non-Christians?
doesn't have to. Jesus wasn't here specifically to give us the message of how to rule.
Should you be
He
more
was
like
here to give
Jesus
us
or
the-
Paul?
He was giving us the ethical framework for how we were supposed to live our lives. And if it's the case,
Shouldn't we live our lives
Yeah, if
politically
it's-
then? If Jesus
it's
wanted
both.
us to live our
It's
why did he reject it?
reject what?
Politics.
Because that wasn't what Jesus was here to do.
So we shouldn't act like Jesus. So Jesus wasn't here to
We
do
are
that.
acting like Jesus.
So theoretically, though, if it was actually more Christian to
Mhm.
impose Christian policy, shouldn't have Jesus established the kingdom of Judea and Samaria? Shouldn't he have done that?
He
United the northern and
established. He
southern kingdoms?
established.
Shouldn't he have thrown off the
He
Romans?
established the brand new kingdom, which is Christianity,
Which is where is
which
it?
is the body of people who are Christians. Yes.
Where is it? Like what state is it?
State what?
What state did Jesus make?
No, he didn't make a state.
Oh, you're right. He didn't.
That was not what his purpose was.
So should we be more like Jesus or like Paul?
We're still like Jesus, even if you're a king who imposes Christian ethics. How are you not like Jesus?
Because if you impose on other people,
Should we all get crucified at 33 to be like Jesus?
does Jesus think that we should all get crucified?
You tell me. It's your
That's my
critique.
answer.
That's not an answer. That's a question. Should every Christian get crucified at 33 because Jesus did?
No.
Why?
Because Jesus didn't say that his crucifixion was him.
He didn't say that kings couldn't be
Did he
Christians
say
and
that
impose
it's
Christian
sin?
ethics.
Did he say it's sin to not get crucified?
Did he say it was sin to be a king and impose Christian ethics? Show me where.
He certainly seemed to reject it outright.
He certainly didn't. Show me where.
Sure, we'll go back to John 6. After feeding the 5,000, he perceived they were going to crown him king, so he withdrew to the mountains.
So?
Matthew, render unto
Talking about
Caesar what
so?
is Caesar's.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Matthew 4.
Does that say Caesar
Satan
can't be a Christian?
offers Jesus political dominion over the earth, and he refuses.
Because why?
Because he is not here to do political power.
Bullshit. The reason that happened was because Satan came to him and he said to him, I'll give you everything if you worship me.
Mm-hmm.
And
So then why
Satan-
did he reject the crowds?
he rejects it, not because he's saying you can't be a Christian and rule. He rejects it because he, God, is not going to bow at the feet of Satan for material
Sure,
shit.
so then why did he reject
Nugget,
it?
I think it's even worse. It's
example.
even
That-
worse
that-
because he can't smoke. If Andrew can't smoke, he can't hold his composure.
That doesn't even make sense.
I brought it up and examined a litany of other things of Jesus regularly rejecting political power.
Yeah, his mission was not to come here to be a politician, but that doesn't mean that he rejects
Why
that
not?
politicians can use Christian ethics.
Well, a lot of Jews seem to believe that the Messiah's role was specifically to be
Are
a
you a
politician.
Jew?
No, but
Then I don't care.
That's not what
okay,
she
so
said.
Jesus rejects the political position, and we should what? Embrace it?
There's
Seek it?
nothing. There's no problem within Christian ethics of having a position of political authority.
I didn't say that there is.
Then, if you're
I
going
said
to be
ruling
informed,
from Christians
Yeah.
onto non-Christians.
that's fine.
Is wrong.
No, it's not wrong, and you haven't
Absolutely.
demonstrated it.
Absolutely.
All
What do you
you've
think
done is
sin
given me
is?
some passages out of context. One of them in which he was supposed to bow at Satan's feet.
They're not out
Another
of
one where he says, "I'm going to reject being the king of the Jews." So what?
How are these out of context?
Well, the first one we were talking about was Satan. He did not reject it due to political office. He rejected it because Satan said, you got to bow down to me in order to get material shit.
I could grant you that one, yeah.
Yeah.
What about the other two?
When it comes to the kingdom, that did not serve his mission. His mission was to come here and give us the good news. He was to give us the good news that his kingdom has come to earth. His kingdom is here.
How would reestablishing Israel not help him with showing that the kingdom is here, that we're here to bring the good news?
Ask him. Why are you asking me that?
Because you're the one who
you're
has to
asking me about the guys of God. His entire mission here was just give you the good news. That was his mission.
So we shouldn't be like Jesus.
How are you not like Jesus because you rule with Christian ethics?
Because he regularly pushed off imposing himself politically on other
did
people.
not anywhere ever show us where secular governance was supposed to be the order of the day and Christians were supposed to only follow secularism. He never showed us this.
So then why does he say render unto Caesar, right? Even Paul, in the case of Paul,
because they were talking about taxes.
Okay, so Paul, for example,
so what was happening is
existed under Nero.
Do you want the answer? Do you want the answer to why he said render under Caesar?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what happened. He was dealing all the time with lawyers, and lawyers would come up with these, well, not just Pharisees, but yes, also Pharisees, and they would come over to him and ask him, oftentimes, hypothetically loaded questions. In this particular case, we're talking about taxes, right? So he gives a parable, and then he says, render unto Caesar what is his, right? Yes, you can render unto Caesar what is Caesar's.
Yeah.
That in no way says that Caesar shouldn't be a Christian or use Christian ethics.
Okay.
There's like nothing there for that.
Sure, I would argue that alone wouldn't substantiate this.
None
but this
of that substantiates
I would say the consistent pattern of Jesus rejecting political power over and over.
His mission wasn't to come here to be a politician. It
You're
was
right.
to die for mankind.
You're right. In fact, not a single Christian's
Is your mission
is
to
be a
die for
politician.
mankind, or do you have a different mission?
No, my mission is to represent Christ as best as possible.
Okay, got it. So it's not to die for mankind.
It's getting ridiculous because Andrew is losing and he's scrambling. That's what's happening.
Mission than Jesus Christ did? Got it. So
what's different between
where
me
am
and
I going to
Christ?
find that Christians must live in only secular countries?
I didn't say that that's where you would find.
Okay, then why should I assume that Christians should only be able to rule in a secular way?
I didn't say that they should only be able to rule in a secular way.
Well, then what is the
I said that
problem
they
here?
should not impose onto Christians Christian moral law that that it only exists.
We do it
because
all
of
the
existence
time.
Of sin.
Most of the common law that you're referencing is imposed from Christian ethics.
It's not imposed from it; it's informed by it.
Yeah, and it's, by the way,
You might notice
when
I
they
never said I
push-
had an issue with being informed by
yeah,
it.
but when
I said
they
imposed
push,
by it.
yeah, but why is it that Christians can't impose that, but secularists can impose that?
Because secular people aren't Christian.
So they can just rule over Christians, but Christians can't rule over them.
Yeah.
What? Why not?
Because they're not Christian.
So what?
So Christians shouldn't be imposing tyranny on other people.
That's not tyranny.
Yeah, imposing your religious
utilize-
predilection onto others
Yeah.
when it's against their interests and not their religion is kind of tyrannical. Yeah.
No, that's not tyrannical.
How not?
It's not then all laws would be tyrannical if it's
No.
an imposition on somebody's
No.
values that they don't like.
It would be if it's compelled. Yeah. Compelled speech, for example,
is that so? So, when you're talking about compelling a person to do a thing, are you saying that secularists don't compel people to do things?
Nope.
What about the draft?
Yeah, that's not moral necessarily.
It's not.
States can compel. Christians should not compel.
I don't understand. The
Well,
draft is it compelling people to do a thing, right?
I don't have a problem with states compelling. I have a problem with Christians compelling.
Yeah, but I don't understand.
The difference here would
I don't
be
understand
Christians versus
what
states.
you said.
He is
was that
struggling, bro.
Secularists should be able to, unless it's the case that they're pushing some value.
Yes. So not secularists, states.
Yeah.
States shouldn't be able to compel people to do things that they would be a violation of some of the fundamental rights and liberties. They shouldn't do that.
Those rights and liberties are informed literally by the perspective of the person. So if people are like, "Hey, we want to be able to watch porn if we want," you're like, "No, you can't. You can't do that." Or, hey, we want to run stop signs. You're like, hey, you can't do that. They're imposing their will, and they're using force of law.
I don't have a problem with states compelling or using the force of
Well,
law.
I don't have a problem with Christians doing that.
Yeah, that's where we differ.
Yeah, and you haven't made a
Congrats.
compelling case anywhere
Just
from
because
anything.
just because you don't find it compelling doesn't mean that
It's just not compelling. You haven't shown me anywhere that Christians can impose Christian ethics. Nothing. In fact, I have the entire standard of the Bible to show that God anoints kings, that Jesus Christ is God, so he anointed kings. Your whole, the entirety of your argument to that is, it's because we didn't have democracy yet.
No,
it's because we weren't ready for not kings yet.
No, it's the yep. So
yeah, show me where that's the case.
Yeah, so
show me where's the case that God said.
Jesus
did not say we were not ever going to have moral kings again, ever.
You're right, but if we look at the type, I never said that he did. What I said is a typological argument. In the same way, for example,
the typology makes no sense.
Do we just do everything that the Old Testament says?
No, of course
not.
Why
not?
Because of Acts.
Go for it. Why don't we?
Okay, well, not a pop quiz. I just want to make sure, though.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar?
I have to go, y'all. I'm pushing 4 hours. That's new for me. I can't do it no more. I was doing this. I appreciate y'all. Y'all been in this. Dang, Nova, you came at the end, bro. We've been at this for almost 4 hours. You pop in at the end, and I'm wrapping it up. But I appreciate y'all, man. Dex got to get his shit together with redirecting streams. I pinned his channel, his stream right now, Dexio. He's part of the community. He's very active. He makes good content. He's streaming right now. I don't know if he's covering this necessarily, but he covers similar content that I cover. So if y'all want to continue just engaging with an audience, I see some people are going over to Dex's stream right now. Sub to Dexio Plays. Watch his content. He has good content. I'm telling you, I'm not just saying that shit because he cool. I'm saying that because he actually makes decent content. And he's a small creator like I was at a point in time. I'm a small creator, but he's smaller than me. But, you know, we all got this journey. Dexio, go over. I pinned it because I can't redirect y'all right now. He's streaming right now. I'm calling it tonight. I appreciate each and every one of y'all that y'all made it to this point of the stream. It's pinned right now. I'm going to leave it up. Go over there because I'm going to stop. Sub to him, please. Like the stream, watch his videos. And if y'all made it to this point in the video, man, make sure you leave a like, comment, sub. If not one, then all three. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.